But
it'd be like an elephant on a teapot. It would.
Thanks.
Just saying.
Welcome back, Steve. Episode 2. It's been too long. More than a month.
How long has it been?
Well, more than a month.
Has it?
I was hoping we were going to be doing this a little bit sooner than that, but we all get busy and real life gets in the way. Firstly, cheers.
Cheers.
I'm sure you're thirsty.
Good to see you again.
What are we drinking today? What do you got?
Pheasant plucker. Easy to say. Boland Brewery.
We won't get you saying that a bit later. I've got
good.
old Hen Harrier.
Oh, nice.
I think from the same place.
Where
Boland
from?
Brewery.
Is it local?
I have no idea.
No,
but bottoms up. Cheers.
cheers, bro.
That's good.
Very
It's
good.
hoppy.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
I was coming through here this evening. I was
Yeah.
driving on dikes. I'll tell you what, that's quite scary at night.
Just to clarify, dikes.
Yeah, the dikes
So,
that surround your village.
Yeah, Lincolnshire's known for its dikes. Yeah.
Tell you what, steep vertical edges.
A truck went over into one, a cement truck, just up the road from us. Obviously, makes the local news when you have such a small town. But the cement truck, it went into the dike, and it's left a massive mess. But they took so long to get it out that the cement had set by the time they was able to get the truck out.
In the back of the
So that's going to be an
mixer.
expensive mistake. I don't know if you saw the chat. I know you've been busy the last couple of weeks on the
seen
family
anything.
chat.
No, I've seen nothing. What's
So-
happened?
Guess what? Guess what number we are in South Africa in the leisure section on the podcast iTunes chart? Guess. You'll never guess because when I
500?
saw it. Nope. I'll give it a couple more guesses while I get up the list because there's a few other ratings I was given which I was shocked by.
What else? I didn't even know that existed. There probably aren't anything on any podcast there, are there?
So, well, okay. Where do you think we are in Lebanon?
I really don't know. You tell
Number
me.
2
Oh, yeah.
in the leisure category in Lebanon. We're number 12 in Hungary. So obviously the podcast went into the leisure category. Number 12 in Hungary. Number 18 in New Zealand. No, 24 in Belgium. I see that UK isn't in here. The guys need to start downloading it, I think. There's Sweden, Australia. Australia, 81.
I thought there were more than 80 podcasts. Wow.
South Africa, number 1. We're number 1.
There is no other. That's it. Okay. Wow.
You haven't got your glasses on, have you?
No.
I've never actually seen you wear glasses.
You came close.
Number 1. So I got this email. I'm like, no, this is a mistake. So I looked it up and was like, whoa, okay. But yeah, that was a bit interesting. Number 1.
Funny.
I mean, we didn't make this with that intention. It was not to try and, get to any top
So it's an
charts,
excuse
right?
to get together, which hasn't worked out that well in the last
it's
few
been,
weeks.
It's been a hectic. Hopefully it's a smaller gap to the next one.
Yeah, we're done now. We'll keep calm and, workload's died down. So,
Yeah. Well,
We'll definitely come.
one problem, I mean, it is dark outside and we're not outside having a braai like we're hoping to, but hopefully the next one we will.
yeah.
But I have had my first braai of the season. I know you probably had
You
a few
have?
by now.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. I think the last one was my birthday, not so long ago.
Well, we weren't there.
No.
No, we weren't invited.
You didn't come. No, you said it was too far to travel.
So on that note, though, obviously it was just awesome to have a braai. And
when was this?
Saturday, so Dad came round. And,
okay. This last weekend?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a last
Good
minute
weather?
thing. No, it was rubbish.
Oh, no, it was. Yeah, it was snowing and raining. It was terrible.
There was a little bit of snow around, but no, it was okay. It was a bit windy. The windbreak wasn't up, and I was outdoors, obviously, doing it. I did have a few of our neighbours came around as well, and they joined us out there for a little while. It was a bit cold, though.
It's nice
it was
to
okay,
get
right in
together,
front of the
though,
fire.
isn't
Oh, it's great. But I mean, on that topic, just remember we reached out. We said to people that they can leave a message on WhatsApp, like a voice note, if they had any questions for us. And
all right,
basically, it's a cheat for us to helps us with this podcast.
And did anyone phone you?
Absolutely, we got one, and it's about braaiing. Yeah, we got one. Well, I don't know if people get nervous about this or if they aren't clear on how I'm expecting this, but.
Is it the guy that listened in South Africa?
The one guy that listened in the leisure category in South Africa. Oh, wow. There's finally a podcast in the leisure category. Guys, download it. No.
Been looking there every week. Can't find one. Suddenly one pops in.
But here we go. We have a message here from Adrian, and hopefully this comes through.
Hey, Sean. Hey, Steve. I have a quick question in regards to braais.
Even pronounced it right.
Sean just celebrated his first braai of the season, and I wanted to ask, what does a traditional braai look like in South Africa? What kind of meats would you have? And, you know, what makes it such a big thing? I know I've heard that a lot of family come together and things like that. And I didn't know if this is also when you had your potjies. And what are your favorite potjies?
Excellent.
He understands a braai.
He's got it down. Well, I've spoken to him. I know Adrian's one of my patrons, and he helps me out with quite a few things. So
sounds like he knows what he's talking about. So
I think he's asked me before in chat, like on Discord. He's asked me before about it, but I've just been a bit busy, so I haven't really had time. So hey, perfect opportunity. Adrian will be answering your question, but it's a good question. It's something I think we take for granted because we are South African, and if you are South African, it's just something you're born doing, right?
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny if you were. We've been in England for a while now. What's it, 23 years?
Oh, God,
22,
too long.
Nearly 23 years. Crazy. There's a difference. Having a braai here, barbecue here, a braai here or South Africa, it's different, isn't it? It means something different. I think here we're just going to go and cook outside, some sausages, burgers, whatever.
So the way I like to describe it is in South Africa, it's an event. It's a social event. Whereas here, it's another way to cook.
Yeah.
And that's not what it is. I mean, you can sometimes braai without eating. Pretty much. You'll be braaiing the whole day in the sunshine. And
not eat.
You'll be drinking a lot during the day. And there'll be snacks and some salads and that. But by the end of the day, you probably don't even get to the food. But it is a social event.
Yeah, it is. It's a get-together, family get-together, friends, whatever it is.
Well, that's what I love. And we lived on a farm, so it was a little remote. But even so, we had our aunts and uncles well, they knew we were going to have a braai on a Saturday, right? I mean, there was always going to be a braai happening, and they'd pitch up. It wouldn't be planned. They'd just arrive. As long as they brought some beers and some snacks, then they know we got the meat going, so it's all good. But you know, I'm sure you did as well. You had friends in town and girlfriends and that sort of thing. I had a girlfriend in town where we lived, and I remember we just hey, let's go for a braai. We haven't set up anything here, and we just pop over next door, and they welcome you. It's not like it's a problem or anything. It's expected that people are going to come around. You're always cooking way too much.
Always cook more than you need. Just in case someone comes around.
Leftover braai, there's nothing better. But also, there's always going to be somebody coming around, someone popping over, even if people are just popping past on the way back from the hardware store or something. Yeah. You know, and I have fond memories of it. It's always a fun time, and it's just a way to connect with people and that sort of thing. But in terms of the meat, whatever, right?
For me, the memories of braai on the farm are... That for me are the highlights of braaiing days, where you'd spend probably 45 minutes getting the coals to the right level,
getting the fire going.
Yeah, you got to have a few drinks while you're waiting for the coals to form, and then when it's the right heat, then you start cooking. You're still having a few drinks, and then you keep the food warm while you finish your drinks.
Yeah, and you're snacking throughout. There's no set meal. That's something that we are starting to do here a bit more, where you do have a bit of a set meal. But, you know, over there, you'd just be cooking all through the day, little bits and pieces, like different stages of the braai.
That's right. Yeah, you start off with, you could have, I don't know, perlemon or what do we have? Prawns, even mussels.
As a starter.
Garlic mussels, oysters.
Sardines every time we talk about Uncle George coming around. He's Portuguese, and he'd bring around his pilchards, or he'd take my dad's bait out of the freezer and we'd be cooking these pilchards. But yeah, that smelt. But it was good. It was
beautiful.
Good. It's tasty.
Starters. And then
he'd always finish off the night cooking his boerewors to an absolute crisp.
Really
and insisting that everybody got to try it because it's the best thing ever. And no, that's not the way I do it.
Yeah,
although you said you kind of like it, didn't you?
It was quite nice. Well, the flavour, because I suppose there's more flavour. Once it cooks through and the liquids are gone, it just intensifies the flavour. But I do like them both, underdone and
I like a little pink
and well
on the
done.
inside. But that's a whole. I mean, we should be doing a braai podcast. You could talk for ages. There'd be plenty of episodes there.
Favourite meat? Lamb chops.
Lamb chops
On the braai.
Since I've been here, the pork strips, the pork belly strips.
I like pork strips.
I really enjoy that.
But if I had to pick one, it would be lamb chops on a braai.
In South Africa, maybe. Here, I've yet to get decent lamb. And, you get it now and then, but, the nice thick cut with a decent bit of fat on it.
Yeah, we don't have it often here, but I think memory-wise, that's what I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, but a braai will, typical braai here will have 3 different types of meat. Yeah. And
it's not a braai if it's not 3 or 4 types of meat.
I remember the first time Mrs. ChilliChump, she invited me. She was just pretty keen on this because she knew I'm South African. So, hey, he's going to like his barbecues. So she brought me around to a friend's place and they were going to do this barbecue. And she was really keen to, involve me in, the culture of that. So we get there and it's a little portable braai thing, one of those things, the disposable
supermarket
ones.
Disposable.
It's a disposable one.
Hey, it's better than a stove.
It is, but then they had brought a typical, I don't know what I've seen a lot of Brits do, it was hamburger patties and sausages. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the staple, isn't it?
I had to smile and, thank you, this is great. But yeah.
I still do them now, pork sausages.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Or homemade sausages.
But not just that.
No, it's good. You got to have a mixed grill. I think a mixed grill goes down well. But pork strips, that's a great starter.
Pork belly strips, a nice bit of braai salt. Again, that's such a rich topic as well for my channel. I do need to share a few of my recipes, and you got some great ones as well.
You've done your braai salt. That's good.
I've done a braai salt, yeah. There's one in my recipe book. There's a basic braai salt, and that's like a good standard one. But I've got so many different ones, some real spicy ones, and some barbecue, some smoky ones. A lot of the really good ones in South Africa. What is that brand that we used to buy? Crown
Spice,
yeah. And that's just fantastic. But it's got quite a bit of MSG, and that really is a secret ingredient for a lot of these braai salts. It's very tasty.
Very good.
But Adrian asked the question here as well around potjie course. Obviously, I've done a few videos on my channel around potjie course. I think I've done 2 now. And there's hundreds, thousands of recipes out there. Every family has their own recipe. And, it's you don't typically have a potjie when you're having a braai. A potjie, again, is a whole day thing. And normally it's a community thing.
That's its own event, yeah.
Some of my favorite memories around potjie is, I guess it's like in America with their chili cook-offs.
Competitions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of farmers, rednecks, and all getting together at a campsite, and everybody's doing their potjie all day long and promising that theirs is the best.
Yeah.
And it's just a good day out, right in the sunshine, and get to try a bunch of great potjies. But yeah, that's a completely different thing to a braai again.
Totally different. Normally the weather's a little bit more dull.
Yeah, it's like a winter thing.
It's more wintry
thing. Yeah. It's end of the season type thing.
Yeah. I'll think about meats. The pork hocks. Enjoy them on a Weber.
Thing. That's fantastic.
Using the Weber or Weber. Don't know how to say it now. Under pressure, yeah. How do you pronounce it?
I've given up trying to pronounce things correctly. I just pronounce it the way I pronounce them.
However Stephen wants it pronounced. But yeah, the pork hocks and those.
Pork hocks,
beautiful.
Yeah. You got to know how to do it, right?
Sorry to all the vegetarians. This is probably the chat you want to have.
Yeah, sorry about that. Like next door, I've shown him how to braai. So Stephen, I think you're talking about the same one.
I was talking about Stephen Weber, the actual inventor of the Weber.
My neighbor, Stephen.
No, not Stephen. No.
He uses a bag of charcoal every time he braais because he keeps on pouring it on. He thinks you need extreme heat. You need to go hard with the heat. Now he's using 2 cups of coal in a full braai. He's like, man, he's saving so much money. But that made me think of that because of the pork hocks, right?
Yeah,
you
just a few
don't need a lot of
coals.
heat, just a few coals. You just add 1 or 2 every now and then. Have it on a low heat. You want to get that about 140, 150 degrees Celsius.
Cook it for a while.
Off the heat. So the coals on one side of the Weber and then the hocks on the other. Just salted, that's it. Some slices through it and then...
And not smoked. They've got to be...
Hours. Yeah, smoked or brined. Oh.
Yeah, they must be unsmoked.
Caroline made that mistake once. Never again because she didn't like it either. But if you get brined hocks, it's
not good for the not good for the barbecue or the braai.
Tastes good.
No.
But yeah, and it's one of those cheap cuts of meat as well. And I think
it's not expensive.
It's still one of the tastiest to me. You got
just that with some
sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut. Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Need to make another batch sauerkraut.
Have you? You haven't made any recently?
Not for a while. I wanted to just stock up completely with my own sauerkraut this year by growing my own cabbages last year, but that didn't work out.
Caterpillars eat them.
No, not this time. This time I think I had a bit of a problem with the soil. I hadn't prepared it properly, which was a pain. But this year, I'm going to get it right.
Very good. You need some practice.
Well, again, it's just you get into such a rush when it gets to the beginning of the season, and my priority is always going to be the chilies. So I end up spending a lot of time on that. I'm trying to make time to cover everything this year properly.
Yeah.
So I've got lots of calendar entries when I should be getting things planted.
Reminders.
That's the only way.
So where are you now in the growing process? No, last time you had seedlings in the shed.
Yeah, so I don't know if you...
Diesel heater on.
I doubt you had a chance to watch the latest video, but I've been doing an experiment with...
Watched a live stream on Sunday, and then you had a video where someone won...
You know, Sunday was last week. We've had a Sunday since that Sunday, right?
I don't know.
No, so
I think
Friday,
I was working.
I put out a video. I've been dying to get that video out because... I hate doing experiments like this. It's basically a soil experiment. I know what the results are going to be roughly. So I started a bunch of seeds early on in the season because my real start was only going to really be mid-Feb. So I started a bunch at the end of Jan, but using some different compost types. So basically the experiment was against different types of compost, different types of soil mixes, that sort of thing. Primarily, really, I wanted to see how, I kind of knew this was going to happen because of the way I grow, but I was trying to see how peat moss, do you know?
Yeah, I've heard you talk about it, that stuff we shouldn't use.
It's stuff we shouldn't use because it's not sustainable. Although, man, I learned so much. This is what's great about these videos. I learned so much in the comments from people on Facebook and on YouTube comments.
Yeah.
But it's not sustainable here. Irish peat moss pulled out from the bogs. Scotland as well. They do a lot of harvesting of that stuff, which is thousands of years old, and it's ripping out an ecosystem. But it's a tough one because peat moss is actually an interesting soil type because it can hold a lot of moisture, which actually is not a good thing for chilies, which is kind of the result of that video. But it's also it doesn't have any pathogens, so you don't need to sterilize it. So typically people, if they're making their own compost, they'd sterilize it, heat sterilize, that sort of thing. Or they'd make sure that when the compost is getting made, that it's going through a heating process, so it's hot composting, so that you get rid of any pathogens, that sort of thing, because you can kill all your plants if you don't. Whereas peat moss is inert, so it doesn't have any of that stuff. Same thing with coca-coir, which... So coca-coir, it's the hair on the outside of coconut. Yeah. So they ground that up into a fine
and they use that as
type thing. And they use that for growing, and that's been used for a little while, but they're trying to use it as an alternative to peat moss, right? Okay. And I don't know if you remember that visit I did to the Europe's biggest greenhouses,
greenhouse place,
which was one awesome experience. If not for, I'm not looking for the views on this, but I'm just so surprised that more people have not watched this video because, man, I had a great time, and it's just a fascinating experience to check that out.
Massive greenhouse.
It was huge. But they use a load of peat moss when they start their seeds because they're starting brassicas primarily, so cabbages, that sort of thing. And there was quite a few comments, people complaining about, hey, you shouldn't be using peat moss because it's bad for the environment. And absolutely, we get it. They get it as well. They know, and they're trying alternatives. One of the alternatives is coca-coir, but they did not get the results. And it's a tough one, right? because like we're seeing now in the supermarkets in Tesco and all these other supermarkets in the UK, there's no fruit and veg, right? So if you're going to start changing things either to something that's going to be far more expensive, that cost has to be passed down. There has to be some give and take, I guess, because you want to be good to the environment, absolutely, 100%. But you've still got a responsibility for people to eat.
Yeah.
So that's what originally got me interested, got me thinking about doing the soil experiment, was actually when I was at those greenhouses, because I wanted to see, is there a way I can get this peat moss to actually work for what I'm doing?
Yeah.
And it's probably a good thing I couldn't, because then people aren't going to rush out and go buy peat moss to do this. But what I was saying about great in the comments, what I see from people is in Canada, apparently, peat moss is a sustainable thing.
Okay.
Because they've got a way, I don't know how, I wasn't given all the details, and I really do want to look it up a little bit more, but apparently it can replenish within our lifetime versus what happens here, which is, thousands of years.
I wonder why it can do that in Canada and not here.
I don't know, different type of bog or different type of peat moss. I don't know. I really don't know. I need to look into it more. So it was interesting. I did make a note to do some more research on that. So I will check into it. But yeah, the soil experiment, I hated doing it because...
So is it done?
No, I'm done, yeah. Well, it's been a whole bunch of seedlings. I mean, about 160, 180 seedlings.
That's good.
But I'm watching that for a month. I'm watching these things battling. Most of them, they'll germinate and then they'll die. And, it was a pain. So I'm glad that's done. And now we're back to...
So have you got any seedlings left?
No, I did start my own proper batch later, and halfway through Feb.
Well.
And I'm talking too much, so I'm not able to drink. But I've got plenty coming through, and they're doing well now. Because I did some other mixes where I mixed some peat moss, so 50% peat moss with 50% compost, which is okay. And the problem with peat moss is it holds onto moisture so well, but it's also very difficult to replenish the moisture. Okay. So what happens is...
It's almost like clay.
No, not clay. No. Different to that, like a sponge. It's so difficult to explain. When it's wet, it stays wet and it just surrounds the roots. Now, chilies like a period of kind of dry in between watering.
Okay.
And when you're using peat moss, it's wet for a long time because you have to saturate that peat moss. If you're just watering from the top, it's going to absorb it and then it's gone. The problem is when it starts drying out and you can't really tell when it is properly dried out, in my theory, and this is my theory, I might be completely wrong, but I feel like it's pulling moisture from the roots because the growth that we're getting on the seedlings just is not right. No matter how I try and work it, I tried keeping it wet every day. I tried changing, the saturation levels. It was impossible. I tried to make it work. It wasn't like I was like, hey, this is a foregone conclusion. This stuff is not going to work, and let me prove that. I literally try to make it work because. It's a lovely stuff to work with. It's so nice to work with. And it's not terribly expensive, but it's just so nice to fill your trays with that. It's just a perfect thing. I don't have to sieve it because that's what I'm doing with my actual compost is I have to sieve it, and that takes ages.
You've got that big contraption.
Yeah, but I can't use it at this stage. I have that big contraption. It'll work fine for when I'm doing my big potting up. That'll work great.
Right. Okay.
But it'll be like 3 buckets chucked in there, and then more of it's going to end up on the floor than in the output. So it was a good experiment, but I'm so glad it's done. There's one more experiment I'm busy working on at the moment, but thankfully I don't mind that one because it's again it's given results that I kind of expected. It's interesting because I'm been biting my tongue. There's a guy that comments on my videos. He's commented a few times, and he's telling me how certain processes that I'm following are pointless, and I won't go into the exact details. I don't want to offend anyone. At the same time, guys, this is just something I've been doing this for years. I know what I'm doing here. I'm going to make mistakes, and I'm going to keep learning. And I'm happy to hear from people, but. Like telling me that tannins are going to kill chili plants. So I soak my seeds in tea. And this guy's telling me that tannins are bad for chili plants. Okay. It'll kill them. It's like, okay.
But they haven't killed yours yet. They've been pretty big.
It's not like this is my first year growing chilies. I mean, and it's not like I haven't documented my previous years.
To be fair to the person, that might be what he's heard, and he's just trying to
He's coming at it from. I mean, the guy.
help.
And I have no reason to doubt him. He has a expert background in horticulture, so and I have nothing to doubt him on that. So it's a bit of a tough one, you know. I don't want to argue with someone like that because hey, you obviously got more qualifications than I have, and it seems more experience.
But have you looked at it this way? Maybe if you didn't do that, that'd be even better.
But
if you've always been doing it, maybe if you didn't, they'd be even bigger.
I'm testing it against the other methods that he's suggesting.
So your greenhouse, last time I was here, the greenhouse needed a clean. Have you done that yet?
So I had Lewis come around. He's
you got someone else to clean it. Oh, brilliant. Well done. That's what I like to see. You haven't changed since you were 10.
Work smarter, not harder. No, Lewis, he's helped me out in a couple of videos tasting chili sauces, and that he actually brought me over some chili sauces from holiday. But he came around and helped me out. We cleared out the large greenhouse, Big Chump. And
I saw the video with all piles of dead tree, but the glass itself was all dirty.
It's a mess. Yeah. Well, I got to clear out the inside, and then we'll go in, and I've got some stuff actually arriving tomorrow, I think, to disinfect
just
and
in
clean.
time for me to clean it. Yeah.
Not problem I have, but I can't use anything toxic. I wouldn't want to anyway in the greenhouse. But also the runoff. I don't want any runoff damaging anything. I don't want my grass getting messed up. I don't want the plant, the vegetation around it getting messed up. So I'm using something that is food safe and plant safe. So I'm waiting for that to come. I know we'll obviously talk about it on the channel if it works as well as it claims, because it's not cheap, but if it does a good job, then I'm all for it.
Environmentally friendly.
So I need to sweep that all out. Caroline's going to help me with that.
Help you or do it?
Well, maybe she'll take over. She won't think I'm doing a good enough job.
And she'll be right.
And then next week, I think it's next week, we have my uncle-in-law.
Hey? Now I'm confused. Who?
Caroline's aunt's partner.
Okay, yeah, uncle-in-law.
He's helped me out so many times. Well, I don't know what you call it. He's helped us out with doing the hedges and all that a few times now, and very, very useful. He's a machine, Andy. He's really great. But he's coming. He's going to help me with clearing out the smaller greenhouse as well. So we'll get that cleared out, and then there's a few other little jobs around here I need to get done. It's just easier when there's someone else. I don't have time to dedicate to it. And if it's just me, what'll happen is I'll spend an hour doing it, and then I'll stop because I have to go do other stuff. But if there's someone helping me, then that's it. I'll dedicate the time to doing it, right?
Yeah. Keep your ADHD in check. That's good.
I'm starting to realize more and more these days that might be something that is...
might be. Yeah. Been telling you for years, but yeah, might be.
It's tough to keep focused, man. I was doing it. I was watching... I was trying to pay attention to it today. I was working and just trying to keep my attention on one thing. It's like, I've got to do that, and then I've got to do this, and then I'm jumping around, and by the end I'm like, wait, what did I originally do?
Write a list. Follow the list.
But then I never read the list. Just lose the list.
Caroline, where's the list?
So how's your week been?
It's been chaos. I've been working.
Had a busy one.
But yeah, it's all good now. We've had an event. We've built up to the event, had the event, and now we're just tidying up after the event. But we're starting to calm down now, so we can relax a little bit.
Excellent.
Just work normal hours and can come visit more often. So it's good.
I keep saying that as well. Yeah, it's just around the corner. I've got to get this thing out. I've got to do that. I've got to get that video out. I've got to get this done. And then things are going to start calming down. I can start enjoying what I'm doing here a bit more, right? I still love what I'm doing, but I'd love to have a day or two where I'm not thinking about work, because that hasn't happened in about 2.5, 3 years. It's just constant weekends.
But your work, you love your work, so it doesn't matter.
I love my work. I do love it, but I'd love to sometimes switch off from it and just spend a bit of time with with Mrs. ChilliChump. And
you do go on holiday. When are you going on holiday?
Well,
a little break.
We're hoping actually to do Thailand this year. Yeah. But again, that's just back to this work thing. I've got other plans as well. There's a couple of things I want to do here in the UK.
Oh, okay.
No, in the UK, there's a couple of things I want to do around the chili stuff. And there's something I've been wanting to do around Europe as well, and then eventually America. Again, I just got to do it. I've got to make that plan, and I've got to make it happen because it'll never happen otherwise. So we'll see. But yeah, Thailand hopefully this year. And
Nice. Yeah.
I should be able to get in a little bit of filming while I'm out there as well, because my favorite food, the spicy food in Thailand. Oh, can't
Yeah, I remember that one year you made us that pad thai.
Pad thai.
Yeah, that was amazing. Really good. In fact, maybe next time. No, we're having a braai. Maybe the time after that, you can make some pad thai. That's really good.
Time. There's a recipe on my website
Try
if you go.
No, I don't want to make it.
You just want me to make it.
Yeah, you make it and I'll eat it. Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to it. The weather is starting to change. It's well, although I saw a report today, it was meant to be -11 and snowstorms.
Well, I was in Newcastle today and I was through snowstorms.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's snowing up there already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was thick. Yeah, came down as probably a couple of hours from here. Calmed down. There was no snow, but
Wow.
Yeah.
No, it's been sunny this morning, which was glorious. I just wanted to get out there. And the next thing I look, it's raining. And then it's sunny again.
Change,
and then it's raining.
it? Changes
In one
often.
day, it's ridiculous.
these drinks are finished. Are we? Any chance we can have?
Yeah, I think we
something
might
else?
need to press pause at this point and get some refills. Mine is
Oh,
almost
you've
done.
been
Yeah,
talking. So.
let's go and get a drink.
Come on then.
Pause it at this point.
Grab
we'll
us
have a halfway.
What do we got?
What have we got?
What is this?
I don't know, Steve. What is that?
What is this? Come on, talk me through this.
It's delicious.
Is this gin?
Mrs. ChilliChump,
Is this gin or vodka?
can you bring the Coke, please?
Can't you get it? Huh? Yeah,
I don't
headphones aren't
wanna-
long enough. Cable's too short.
Right. It's a special brandy, Steve.
Special brew.
special brandy.
These are glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That is actually a good beer.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? You're noticing that one and all.
Do you know where we got the beers from? Was that one that you got?
I think it might have been
Christmas.
Yeah, because there's another one.
Very nice.
From Steve and Dinah.
Oh, yes, those ones. No, it wasn't.
I did have the rum that you sent us.
You've drunk it, yeah?
Yeah, that was good.
Was it?
Small, but it was good. Steve.
Small, but good.
Thank you. You can leave it there.
Can I? Okay, thanks.
Yeah, life is
roller coaster. There's a song. Life is a roller.
I wonder if we get a copyright claim if you start singing. Well, there you go. You wouldn't be in tune. So
No, I wouldn't worry
wouldn't
about
be detected.
I don't think there'll be any problems there.
It's going to be some of my favorite memories of you is you singing Bon Jovi songs
Easy,
very
Tiger.
badly.
Hey, I thought I was quite good.
Oh yeah, no, you're awesome.
Is that enough Coke?
No, more. Hello.
No more.
I saw it. I saw the size of that paw.
Yeah, but I don't know how strong this stuff is. Next time, can you make sure it's stronger than 40%?
I'll speak to the manufacturer.
Yeah.
Oh, that is good.
Has Dad had some?
Yeah. Geez, man, just don't let him loose on those.
Did he have some?
Does some big shots. Huh?
What did he think?
No, he liked it. He liked it. He really enjoyed it. Nah.
That tastes different to last time. Can't be though. It's the same, isn't it?
It's the same one. I haven't-
Same. It's good. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well done. Nice one. I can relax now. Oh, work's over. Chill out. Oh, blimey. What you up to tomorrow?
Tomorrow. What am I up to tomorrow? We have Mrs. ChilliChump's mom here. So
Yeah.
she has been hugely helpful because Wednesday is normally my day where I'm packing parcels for orders and stuff like that.
Okay.
Seeds. And while she's been here, she's been doing that. So that's a godsend. It gives me some
you still
time to
doing
get some
seeds?
stuff done.
That. Yeah.
Still
busy.
selling seeds. Guys are still buying. I think it's one of those things I assumed, going into it. And this is the thing, don't make assumptions when you're doing these things.
Yeah.
But I assumed going in that there would be a season. It would be like 2 months, 3 months of the year. People would be buying seeds and then it'd be done.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I mean,
Well,
seeds, you think?
that's what
yeah,
it's just strictly
You only
speaking.
plant once, but then I suppose all over the world you plant.
But all over the world, they
times.
plant at different times. So I guess we're coming into spring, which is when most people in the UK will be already planted or getting their stuff planted because April is when the last frosts are here. But at the same time, seasons are closing down for South Africa, Australia, and all the southern hemisphere. So they're going to start thinking like we were back in November, like what are we going to grow next season? And there's a lot of that coming through. I had an order coming today, which pretty much one of every variety that I have on my site.
Oh, okay.
And it's just
That's
honestly,
interesting, isn't it?
I see these orders come through, and I'm like, my instinct is like, just feel humbled by the fact that people are doing that. But what's really awesome, what I love seeing. What I'm loving to see, what I love seeing. There we go. I don't know.
Love seeing, yeah.
What I like to see is there's a lot of comments, especially in some of my more recent videos, that people are saying, every one of your seeds, 100% of your seeds germinated.
Germination rate, yeah.
I love seeing that, right? Because I take a lot of pride in what I do, no matter what I do, whether it's seed selling, it's sources, or my day job.
I'm not sure it's your fault, though. I don't know how much it's got to do with you.
It helps. So I do a lot of testing for my seeds before I send them out. Make sure that they have a high germination rate. I've dumped thousands of seeds when I don't get the germination rate I'm expecting. So I'll take a sample set, I'll plant a whole bunch, and I'll take a sample set. If it's below a threshold, I'll dump the whole batch.
So it's not by accident.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it is down to these guys as well. If you're trying to germinate and it's you don't have enough temperature and things like that. Like I've had a few emails of people saying I'm not having any luck.
Oh, they need to use tea.
Well, they need to have more temperature because they're telling me they're trying to germinate at 17 degrees Celsius, and especially if you're doing super hot.
What temp? I thought last time I was here, we were in your grocery. It was like 20 or
28 inside the propagators. That's what I set them all to.
Diesel heater on.
Well, that just keeps the ambient up. The propagators are raising at 10 degrees above what the ambient is.
So you were around 20 in the
20
room.
in the room, and then it'll bring it up to 28 easily.
Got it.
I could probably have it at about 17, 18, but then your propagators are just running constantly.
Yeah.
So this propagators, people don't realize, like I've got expensive propagators, decent, high-powered propagators, but even them, they won't raise it much above 10 degrees above ambient.
Okay.
So even though your thermometer or your thermostat is set to 28 degrees Celsius, if it's 12 degrees ambient, it's not going to get there. It's just going to be on 100% of the time. Yeah. So it's a bit of a balancing act. I don't want the ambient temperature to be too high because that means I'm having to run the diesel heater too many times, and that's not ideal.
I'll take it that's still running.
Still running great, actually. I need to top it up today.
Yeah,
with this cold weather.
I just got that smell of kerosene on my jeans.
Yeah, I wear gloves now. Although I was in a bit of a rush earlier. I was siphoning some out of my massive tanks, the heating tanks. And I'd forgotten about it because I got distracted with some work.
Yeah,
and my alarm had gone off, and my alarm had gone off on my phone saying check the filter, check the kerosene, and I was like, just snooze that. I shouldn't be snoozing that alarm. So I set that alarm for 4:30. But I set that alarm for 4:30, and it was like 5:15, and I'm getting off a call, and then I'm like, something I was meant to be doing. Oh, crap. I ran outside, and normally I'm wearing gloves. I'm wearing latex gloves. I just quickly grabbed it out because I could see it was just starting to...
That smell.
It so just strong. Permeates. Yeah. Thankfully, my hands are okay, but I think I got some of my trousers.
Uh-oh.
She said as soon as I came inside, Caroline was like, you spilt on yourself, didn't you?
Yeah. No, that stuff doesn't come out for fun. Wow.
But no, it's running like a dream. I need to do like a second part of that video, which I showed it in the first place, but then show the results because I've got actual evidence of what it's doing, how it's maintaining, how much fuel I've used, that sort of thing. And it'd be good to show people.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's really good.
But you got to measure. You got to be able to measure your results if you want to, have a meaningful sort of view of what you're doing. So.
Especially if it's a solution for most people, in that growing period. Yeah.
It's so that the alternatives that you have, there's a couple alternatives out there. You can get kerosene heaters, right, which just burn. It's a flame that's burning against a little metal,
almost like a lamp.
Metal shield, and that will then radiate heat. But you generate a lot of soot. So a lot of the times when you're using that inside your greenhouse, you're just creating the soot and you get blackening up your windows. So it's not a very clean way of doing it because it's not all that heat is not. If you're making soot, that means it's not an efficient burn.
Whereas this thing's like
there is no soot. There's no up the side of my shed, not a bit of soot, no discoloration,
It's
nothing.
clean.
It is very clean. And that means obviously it's more efficient. It's putting out more heat per how much fuel I'm using.
Yeah.
The other side is electric heating, which is efficient and does a good job, but with prices of
costs a
electricity at the
fortune.
moment, it's too expensive, right? And even before, when electricity was half the prices to what it was now, it's still cheaper to run these kerosene heaters. So it is a good solution. I'm liking it. I've got a proper greenhouse electrical heater inside the greenhouse now. I will have that as a backup because I'm doing this as a business. I can't afford for my plants to die because suddenly everything fails.
Yeah, you have a frost or something.
So I've got the kerosene heater, but I'll also have the electric, and that will help me out. So, yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see how it works in the greenhouse.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I mean, it's easy to work out. It should work fine. You know, it'll be interesting to show on a video and show the result of it. But it's a 5 kilowatt heater. It's putting out around 5 kilowatts of power. I know that I have a 5 kilowatt electric heater. I know what that does inside there. And 5 kilowatt just means that's the power output that it's doing. So it should be perfectly fine. What'll be interesting though is if it's on 24/7, if it's going to stay on to try and keep the heat inside the greenhouse. Because at the moment it's not. It's on for a little while and it's off. You know, it'll keep that temperature at a sort of middle ground. Because if that was on the whole time, that'll be like 40 degrees in there. It's insanely hot.
You want those windows, those vents open if it warms up.
Well, I actually noticed that I had to turn down the temperature on the diesel heater because my extractor fan was kicking in because of how warm it was getting in there.
Wow.
And that was just a complete defeat of the point. Because now you've got the extractor fan pulling out all the hot
Fighting
air
against the...
while you're pumping in new hot air. And it's like, that's not a good plan. So, yeah, I got the temperature down so it doesn't kick in.
Didn't you have to... Are you lowering the shelves in the greenhouse? I think they were too high the last time I saw.
Thanks for reminding me because I forgot about that. Yeah, the shelves on the left on the big
left,
greenhouse, I need to drop those down a bit. They're a bit high. So that's definitely a job, but once we clean things out, it's such a mess in there.
Before you put the plants in.
Yeah, it'll be a pain if we do that before the plants go in.
So much to think about. So much to do.
I need to
Not
make
enough
notes of
time.
these things. I need to remind me after this podcast.
You need a big wall, big gold
Well,
chalkboard.
I keep thinking I've got a little whiteboard next to my
Whiteboard,
desk where I do my live streaming from, and it's too small. It's no point.
You need a big
a
one.
much bigger one. So I'll get there.
So much to think about. Amazing.
So what are your plans? I mean, obviously coming into spring. What's spring for you?
Well,
What does it mean?
I bought kayaks last year.
Well, I was going to say, are you getting back into that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. As it warms up, I'll go out with the boys. We're going kayak up and down the Broads. Beautiful Broads. I mean, the Broads are just amazing. They're full of plant life and bird life, fish. So I'll be doing that. That's, I'm looking forward to that.
Well, Adrian
Hopefully.
is he's taken up stand-up paddleboarding.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that? Sup? Yeah,
I've got one, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I got one from work.
You won that as a prize. I did enter that competition.
I got one from work. Turns out it's a child size one. That's why I can't stand on it. It's a 7-foot one. I need 11 foot.
So you're wondering why
There
it's
I
so
was on
difficult?
holiday.
Man, this is a challenge.
Kept falling over. Matt gets on it, no problem. He's paddling. No hassle. I just kept falling over. So, I figured out and I need the 11 foot. It's a 7 foot.
Well, yeah,
So
Adrian's
if you
gone
want
to that.
if you want to stand up paddleboard, I
I need two of them, like skis.
you need one for each foot. Oh dear. Yeah. But no,
That's
Kayaking
big
would
in the
be good.
world at the moment. It seems
it's
quite popular.
good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my head around it because obviously we used to paddle ski and we used to do a lot of water stuff.
Well,
back
paddle
then.
skiing is probably closest associated to the kayaking.
That's what I'm saying. You're sitting down. I mean, I can imagine like if you wanted to go fishing, you could go and do that. If you wanted to
you can go out to
drop off the
sea,
side,
go
but
fishing.
paddleboarding,
No.
that seems like it's a singular activity.
Yeah, it's just for paddling, getting around, exercise.
You're literally standing up on a board
standing up and paddling.
and then paddling it.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Can
Exercise.
you do waves with it? Or?
No.
So
No,
what's the
just
point
paddle.
then?
Well,
I mean, I don't want to disrespect everybody that's that's listening now that loves stand-up paddleboarding, but I can't get my head around why.
would
You
you
would do
go
that
for
instead.
walks? Do you go?
Yeah,
Do you go out and walk around?
but if you're
Do you go for a walk around the block?
But what do you prefer?
Same thing.
What would you, if you could get an 11-foot one, would that be something you'd do instead of?
I'd probably stick
kayaking?
to kayaking. I enjoy the kayaking because I can go.
Are you going to attempt fishing again?
Because I can go fishing. I can put camping gear on the back, and we can go and stay
That's
the
what I mean.
night.
It's so much more versatile, and you can go to the sea when
I've got a
it's not
fish
too rough.
finder on my kayak.
Is it?
So I can go fishing. Yeah.
See that I can
In fact,
understand.
I've got a
that.
motor as well. I've got a little electric motor,
So basically, got a boat.
so I don't have to paddle. It's brilliant. I've got 2 batteries, half an hour.
So your 2
one
boys
battery,
behind you
half
paddling
an hour,
like
one
crazy while you're
and I'll just have a little, and it's silent as well. There's no noise.
electric. Well, obviously, yeah.
I was up on the Broads last year. We had the canoe club, and they were all training. And there I was with my electric motor, my kayak. And a few of them. Oh, I wish I had one of them. They were training. That was good fun.
It's like I guess in the mountain biking world where the people have the motors, the
electric
bikes, and these guys just cruising on an uphill just without pedaling.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I'll start riding in the mornings as soon as it
Are you
gets
getting
light.
back into that?
Oh, yeah,
'Cause you're properly into that.
Only when it's light, because I don't like to ride around when
Weren't
the
you doing
cars.
it indoors? You were doing
Yeah, I
it
do
on
it
a
indoors. but
stationary.
I much prefer outdoors on the road. So I'll go cycling as soon as it's light at 4:30, 5 o'clock. Then I'm out. So I go out with Craig and we cycle in the morning, do an hour ride, and then go to work.
Oh, I like that idea. I'd love
good.
to do that. I'd love to get into something else. I just know my personality. I can't.
Cycling is good for the knees.
Yeah,
Beats
especially-
running for me,
especially with your
especially
knees.
with our weight class.
our weight class and certain chainsaw incidents.
Yeah, but that's a flesh wound. That's not the structural knee
Flesh
damage.
wound.
That's
You forget that I was there, Steve.
yeah, that's the flesh wound of the
Oh,
knee.
my knee hurts every time we talk about
we
that.
talk about knee structure.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
So
that's for another time.
We've got something to keep us a little bit more active.
You have.
Force us to be
Oh
active.
yeah, you've got something coming.
Got a little
haven't you?
puppy
You've got
coming,
the little
yeah.
puppy.
Looking
So I
forward
saw
to
that
that.
on your live stream. The
It's
first
so
time I
cute,
heard
man.
about it was through your YouTube channel.
Sure,
So I'm
I
trying to
spoke
work
to you
out-
about it.
No,
We've
you're
been
not-
looking.
No, you're not sure because you didn't.
We've been talking about getting a miniature Dachshund for.
You've been
a
talking about
long
getting a
time.
dog.
but we didn't. No, we hadn't chosen. That was new. That was very fresh.
You've been talking about getting a dog, and I've never believed you because I know how you like to keep your house perfect.
Not me.
And
That's Caroline. I've
Sorry.
convinced her otherwise.
Sorry, let me rephrase that because I know how Caroline likes to keep the house perfect, and you like to mess it up. And I didn't think you'd get a dog, but I found out through watching you on
She's
YouTube
eased
that
up.
you're getting one.
She's eased up.
So yeah, exciting times. He looks cute.
Very
Caroline
cute.
showed me a
It's very, very cute.
photograph.
Little dappled, like a wire head thing.
So he looks like you,
What fat
little
and
scruffy,
roly-poly.
little scruffy,
scruffy, and
scruffy little.
and asleep.
And I bet he's messy as well. So he's going to be exactly like you.
The parents were really cute. The two
People who own it now.
no, the mother and father dog.
Okay.
Really great characters because the Dachshund can be they can be a little
I do like
suspicious
them.
and things like
I
that.
do
They
like
have
the little
characters
Dachshunds.
though.
Yeah.
But now I'm looking forward to that.
You've got
That'll
little
be
short legs as well, so you can't go too far when you
oh, it's
walk.
hilarious. We got a little video. We took some video while we were checking out the puppies, and the dad. So they've got a cage, and it's about 5 centimeters high, and that's where the lip of the cage that the mom was in, and this dog, the male dog, to get out is like
Trip over it.
It takes like a step back and then leaps
wow.
to get over it.
I'll tell you the bonus is it won't get on your bed.
It can't. It can't get up on the couch. It
You've
can't,
got to
the
pick it up
thing's-
everywhere.
Yeah, no, you have to pick it up. So the problem is though, it's once it's on the bed, if it tries to jump off, it hurts itself.
We had a Brian summer with some friends of ours, and they had 2 Dachshunds. They were so sweet, but they just can't jump on your lap. They can't do anything. They're just on the floor. That's them.
Well, apparently, I mean, reading up
funny.
about it, I mean, the long elongation is a deformity, apparently. So
I'm sure it is.
you got to be careful with, like them jumping up. They shouldn't do
Yeah.
that because it will hurt their spine and that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
But no, I'm looking forward to
they're
it.
sweet. Yeah, really
sweet.
Can't wait.
I wanted a working dog, as much as it doesn't seem like it, because it's a
different.
miniature Dachshund, but it is a working dog. They were bred to be badger killers.
Get rid of
right?
your moles.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping. God, I'm hoping it digs into the hole, the molehill, and goes and
You can
gets
see
them.
these things going underground in those mole holes.
I'll be happy with that. I'll be able to get in that hole. Yeah, we'll see how that goes, but yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to. I've always had animals. We've always had animals. So
We've always had them on the farm.
Caroline just hasn't. So yeah, it's going to
it'd
be an
be amazing.
experience. She's gonna.
She'll be fine. She'll love them.
She's going to love it. No, she's absolutely going to love it. It'll help her to ease off a little bit on the
On you.
Well, on me, yeah. I won't get so much shit.
Blame the
I
dog.
was like, at least I didn't crap on the floor.
Yep. See, I'm not that bad. That's all you happy. That's why you happy. She's got something to compare you against.
I'm just looking forward to when I'm out there checking on the greenhouses and
Following you around.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I have to walk slowly.
What about the chickens? The chickens will be on its back.
I'll have to teach them very soon about the chickens because yeah, I'm sure you'd want to.
You can teach them to get on with each other.
Yeah, the dogs that have been here. There's one of our mates has a Shih Tzu.
Who's that?
Ian and Josie, and this Shih Tzu, it just wants to attack the chickens. It thinks it's hilarious. This is a game, and those chickens are crap scared. I mean, every time the Shih Tzu comes running over there, there's this fluffy dog with little bows in his hair, and it goes, and these chickens just go and hide behind a corner or on top of the coop.
Stop laying for 3 days. Oh, shame.
Yeah, and then you get the other dogs like who's
Stephen's
coming.
dogs.
The
Name?
Chihuahuas, they're not bothered with the
Yeah,
chickens.
so they come round often.
Yeah, they come around. They're not interested in the chicken. They're like people. But we have people coming around to help us out with the greenhouse.
yeah.
They've got a Springer Spaniel.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing, it's a beast. That thing, if the cage was left open, there would be no more chickens.
No, just straight in there.
He just wants to attack. He's good fun. He's not used to so much space all the time.
Yeah.
So when he is here, he's just running
around
one end to the other, and he's like so much energy until he comes inside at the end of the day, and then he just plops. That's it. He's done.
They need that. Dogs need that. They've got to expel all that. I tell you what, humans need that too.
Yeah.
But dogs especially. Our dog, he just around the house walking around until you take him for a walk. Then he's done. He's finished. Oh, got that in. Got all that excess energy out, and then they relax. You've got to walk them every day.
How old is he now?
12.
12.
Yeah, we've been 8 years now.
I'm going to say something that's going to make me sound such an old man. So we were watching Crufts, and
Crufts. I don't think I've ever watched Crufts.
No, we were watching.
I think I watched it by accident once. Someone was watching. I walked in.
It's on recently. The last
Is
weekend.
this since you getting a dog? You went,
No, so that's what Dad
should we
said.
go
Dad
back
said,
into-
"Oh, now suddenly you're dog people." I'm like, "Well, no, they're cute. Come on." I mean, so I watched a bit of Crufts, but there was some dogs like yours.
He's a bird person, isn't he?
Oh, Dad,
Yeah, and he's got a bird.
he likes birds and birds.
Yeah, he's got birds.
But no, they had dogs like yours, but they all look like they're just smiling the whole time.
Yeah, they just got big old
But
mouth.
what is yours again? I keep
Staffy.
Staffy. Yeah,
Big old mouth.
such cute
grinning.
dogs. But yeah, there was some weird
The more
dogs.
they run,
there
the
was
more
some
they
weird
smile.
dogs in that one, man.
Yeah,
But I remember when your dog was young, that thing would run like a beast.
yeah, it was so fast.
It had so much
was so
energy.
fast.
I don't know how it was doing it, but now it's
Well, when we
caught up with
first
now.
got him, I couldn't control him. He was just all over. So I had that long 30-foot lead. So because I'm trying to get him to come back on recall, and I'd let him go, and I'd have that 30-foot lead going, so I could have some chance of catching him when he went. And he was just so quick. I remember him going after rabbits, and I'd shouting, "Come back, Molly!"
Well, I remember you throwing mud clods.
Yeah, that's how I taught him to come back, was actually throwing stuff for him to go and fetch, and then you bring it back. And that's how I managed to get him to come back. And
Marley. Yeah, we're still trying to think of
now
names.
he's you haven't got a name yet.
No, we've had a few options.
So
that
it's a
have come in.
sausage dog, is it? Is that
Well,
the
the instant one was chili
hot
dog.
or chili dog or
Chili
pepper
dog.
or
Yeah, but I didn't really want to go down the chili route. because listen, I love what I do, and I
love
love
chilies
the
and you love dogs.
I do, but I don't want everything in life because for me it's fine. I've got no
don't.
problem, but I don't
I
want.
don't.
I don't want it to be for. I don't want Mrs. ChilliChump. Well, I'm giving her.
But now you call her that instead of Caroline, yeah.
Old Mrs.
No, I can see
ChilliChump.
you don't. Yeah.
But I don't want her thinking that it just dominates every aspect of
I'll
our
be
life.
in a month's time. We'll be, welcome to Chili Dog,
Yeah, this is Habanero.
Sabanera, and his brother,
Brother Scotch
Jalapeno.
bonnet.
Or Jalapeno. Oh, dear.
Perry was an option for a while. That's still,
Perry.
that's still, that's still kind of a
Perry,
lever.
Perry. So when you get to
Yeah. Perry and Perry.
Perry. Yeah, perfect.
Nando's. Yeah, there's one. Then I
My
came up
favourite
with
chili,
one the other day.
Perry.
Oh, that's awesome.
Beautiful.
Man, that's you. I don't know if you feel like this. I do sometimes because I do this so much with eating chilies and that. I worry that one day I'm gonna
Not
like
like
make my peri peri chicken, and I'm like, actually, I've had enough. I've done it, and then I have it, and it's like,
Never.
nah, never.
Beautiful.
This tastes too good.
Do you know what? Sometimes I work late at night, and I like out in Northampton. I'll be coming home, and there's Nando's on the way, and I'll stop there. 15 wings.
Oh, that's my favorite meal at Nando's. I think it's the best. I think it's the best value for money.
Oh, you can't beat it.
Cannot
Cannot
can you
beat
do
it.
15 now? Because it used to be
15.
10. You
No,
10
you do
I used to
15.
get the
15 for £14.
seriously.
Yeah, you can't beat that. And they're not just a flat or a drum. It's
the
the
whole
flat
thing,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
drum. 15 of them.
No, it's
It takes me 2 hours to get home and takes me 2 hours to finish the 15 wings. Oh, no,
just
it's
driving
amazing.
really slowly.
Yeah,
When you get your electric car and it can self-drive, you've got problems, eh?
I just have to park
You're
at
gonna get
Nando's and charge it.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I just ran out. Sorry, babes. Just
got
to charge.
Just need to charge up here at the pub.
Why do you charge there all the time?
What, Nando's? It's free. Yeah.
We don't have a Nando's near us.
No, you don't have
know where the
anything near
nearest
you. I don't know why you pick out Nando's. You don't have anything. You got Dykes. And that's it.
We got loads of dykes. I've got a bit of a problem.
Have you got any more of this?
Yeah, helps so.
Grape juice.
Grape juice.
Is this plum juice? Or
Plum, yeah.
it's very clear for
brandy.
plum juice.
It's not aged plum juice.
How did you make it so clear?
I didn't make it.
I mean, how did you? Nothing.
How did they make it? I don't know.
It's very nice.
Filtered.
Very nice. Pepsi Max.
Yeah, these. So we have a dike around the back of our property. We have a dike in the front of our property.
You've got them all over the place.
They're everywhere.
Honestly, it was hairy driving here tonight.
Did you?
Oh, you want as well?
That would be nice.
Well, you were
Thank
still
Steve.
drinking.
I'd love a drink.
You're always a bit behind. Honestly.
I've always been a bit slow, Steve.
Yeah, I know. Or I like to say, too fast. It just seems like you're behind.
I'm lapping.
You're just so fast. It seems like you're behind. Yeah. That's what I tell everyone anyway. See, I do stand up for you. Honest.
But with all these dikes, cheers.
And they're steep as well. Honestly, I came around the one corner. It was a little, and there's no signs going steep corner. Oh, hello.
It can be a bit scary,
My bum
especially
was
the way
like-
you drive.
My bum was twitching like a peeing dog. I was like, oh, hello.
My favorite is Dad in his his a front wheel drive, and he had a caravan on the back.
Yeah,
So
probably.
when he arrived, firstly, he decided he was going to swing wide, and I'm like, that's a bit wide, Dad. There's a dike just over that little grass verge you're seeing, and he got a little bit stuck, but thankfully got through that. My favorite was when he left that weekend with his caravan on the back.
You know, he might be listening to you.
Hey, no, I'm happy with him listening because he likes to blame me for this. But he let us know a few weeks later that while he was driving, literally round the corner, the caravan came off the back of the back of the car, and he insists, no, it's because you hitched it up wrong, Sean. I'm like, I didn't hitch it up.
It's exactly.
He's having some problems with his motorbike at the moment.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, what's wrong?
Actually, I never got through the end of that story. You started the story. His battery,
This is when he was just here now.
yeah,
I need to talk.
his battery keeps dying.
I phoned him when he was here.
Oh, did you?
I said, no, you well? Yeah, I was driving. I said, how are you? Yeah, good. Can I give you a call back? He says, I thought, what you doing? I mean, you're retired. Why? What's the urgency?
What's he up to?
No, I just got to blues. Okay, cool. I'll call you in the car, he says. I haven't heard from him. 3 days. Nothing. So, I don't know. Oh, I've done something wrong or he's forgotten. Anyway.
I think it might be the latter. But no, he started telling me his bike the battery keeps dying.
Well, it died when he went to South Africa because he was
Well,
away
then he got a
2
new battery
months.
and now it died again. So,
Right.
I don't know.
He probably needs to ride it more.
Yeah, I think he had to send it back to the garage.
okay.
But it reminded me I need to get my bike out again. I've had that sawned
How long have you not ridden
since
your
we
bike
arrived
for?
here.
You haven't
It came
ridden
off the back. I haven't ridden it actually since we arrived here. I have started it a couple of times, but I've got it off road now, so it's
Yeah,
sawn.
but you need to move it around a bit.
I need to get it serviced now. So I took it off road so I didn't have to pay the road tax for a little while. It's still insured, but I'm dying to get back on it again, man. I just don't think my kit's going to fit.
You'll be in a t-shirt.
Oh, it's been hectic. Yeah, I don't have to go in shorts and a t-shirt to the garage.
Blast up and down the road here.
But no, I'm looking forward to it. Caroline and I were talking. We want to do that Europe trip we did again.
On your own.
Just the exact same trip, though. Just it's a different thing when you're going with people, when you're not. And
Well, wait till I get my license. I'll come with you.
you've been saying this for ages.
No, I've never said it before.
What?
I've always said I'm not going to ride.
I thought you said you were going to ride, and then you
I
kept
never
getting,
will. But
no.
I might. You never know. I might change my mind.
You're getting old enough now that you'll be more sensible.
I don't know. Just maybe.
I have the bike I have. It's not a sport bike anymore. I've been through that stage where I had my dream bike, and it was a ridiculously fast thing.
Which one was your dream bike?
The ZX9, the Ninja. It was actually the ZX6 that was my dream bike when I was like 12 years old. But at my age and height and weight, ZX6 would be a bit stupid. So I got the ZX9. But
Yeah, it'd be like an elephant on a teapot. It would.
Thanks.
Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. I think the ZX9 was very close to
I think that was pretty similar, but yeah.
but I love
the
that
one
bike.
you've got
It
now
was
suits
quick.
you best. Yeah.
Well, I got this one because
Actually,
I have so
Harley
much fun.
would suit you.
No, good. No, not a chance. I'm
would.
sorry. I'll give up biking before I get a Harley.
Don't say that. You're going to offend how many people? Are you mad? Honestly.
We all have our preferences.
Yeah, we do.
I won't say what bike I do have because then I'll really get some polarization. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
this
but
guy
it's shaft driven.
actually.
That should give enough of
I should
victory.
give it away. I don't have to oil the chain. But it's one of those bikes that is so polarizing that a guy decided to dedicate 20 years of his life to proving you don't need one.
Yeah.
C90. I don't know if I'm going to show you this thing. C90 Adventures.
I've never heard of
Fantastic
it.
channel. This guy,
okay.
Ed, he's traveled the world in a C90. Do you know what a C90 is?
No.
It's the most popular bike, I think, in India. I think it might be worldwide because there's so many of them
right.
sold. Just it's got a little 90 Honda engine. It looks like a Pasola, like a little
The girls used to drive at school.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's got 3 gears and it's automatic, right? So it's automatic through those 3 gears. And he decided to prove a point that you don't need a BMW.
That's all you need.
You don't need it because it was basically off the back of Long Way Around and Long Way Down, all those
Oh,
movies.
yes. Yeah.
So he
Long Way
decided to do
Around.
this, and he's like, "Oh, you don't need that," and he's going to travel around the world in this little thing, and he did.
Turns out you do.
What an awesome series of videos, man! It is so good. At the moment, he's doing another adventure. He went and got like a toy truck. It's this like Tonka truck. It looks like a mini Jeep. I mean, literally, I would look like an elephant on top of a teapot on that thing, but it's tiny. It's from China. He ordered this thing. It's got no suspension.
Yeah.
And he's traveling through the whole of America, across some desert. It's hilarious, man. It's such.
I've never seen
I
it.
don't know how this guy does not have millions of subscribers because it's pure adventure. It's a guy doing something stupid just because, hey, why not? So yeah, I hope if people are listening to this, they go and
C90.
look him up.
No, I've never heard
C90
of it.
Adventures.
No, I must have a look.
He is. It's brilliant. He's just released another episode. That's why I had it on top of my mind. But he does some adventures. He's gone. He did the whole of America from the very top of America to the to the bottom,
South travel,
like through South America,
Wow.
like through all crappy roads
and a little Pasola.
Yeah, it was hilarious when he did that. He did that. Started up obviously in the very north of America, going on like have you ever watched Ice Road Truckers?
Yeah.
On those roads. I mean, he's got these
Madness.
trucks blasting past him. He's on this little thing. It's great videos. Honestly,
So who's
when I
filming
watch
him, there must be a crew.
no, he's just some dude. He'll not put out a video for a while because he has to go and earn some money quickly. So he goes out in like a tanker or something. He's an engineer, and he'll go out on a ship somewhere and go and do some work for a couple of months until he can afford it. And then he'll fly back to where he left his bike and then start again.
Amazing.
It's just I watch that. Honestly, watching things like that, it makes me think. Obviously my channel is very different, but I'm sitting there thinking, man, that's what I want to do. I'd love to do that, but I don't have the balls he has.
Probably not.
No,
You can't take your dash on with you.
Also,
I think you're too old as well.
yeah, he's doing this thing at the moment now. I mean, the latest episode he did with his little Jeep, it's like 3 episodes in now, and it's like a 30-minute episode, so it's pretty decent length. And he's sleeping in this little tent in like minus 12, minus 15 degrees Celsius. Everything's freezing. The truck can't,
That's cold.
the little thing he has can't do hills. So he has to get his foot out the side and push along. He's doing that for miles.
Oh, dear.
It's crazy, man. But yeah, it's a classic. That's what YouTube was made for, right? It's these guys just
Follow their journey.
who else is going to do that? I hope that one day it gets picked up by a Netflix show or something because it's that good. But you try and pitch that to Netflix, and I'm like, nah, it's good. You're fine.
I wonder how many miles he's done.
Stupid amount.
Yeah.
He went across Asia as well on his C90.
Wow.
He was doing tours. So if you wanted to join him, then bring your own C90 and we're going to do this. And these people pitch up in these crappy little C90s and they all go for a ride. Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, I must have a look at that. Never.
Well, there's a bit of free
Never come
promotion for
across
Ed.
that.
I actually commented on one of his videos once. I'm like, I'd love to see his channel grow. He just deserves it so much what he puts himself through.
Is it not a big channel? Is it?
It's getting a little bit more traction now, but it still is fairly small. I mean, I can look it up.
Yeah, may as well. Doing
We
nothing
need
else.
we need to do like Joe Rogan. We need somebody to be doing this for us, right? Hey, computer guy.
Well, you're the one who uses computers. You'll have
he's-
to do it.
Let's see where he is. C90 Adventures.
And it could be anywhere.
Sinuses, man.
What's wrong? Is that? Oh, that's the downside with summer for you.
Alaska
isn't
to
it?
Argentina. That's what he did on the C90, man. Crazy.
Yeah, you got hay fever season coming for you.
I hope that's not what it is, actually. Actually, no, he's risen quite a bit. 449,000 subscribers,
cool.
but he deserves a
He's
lot
doing
more.
well. Isn't
He's an absolute nut job. So yeah, he's going across the Moab
he? Moab does
on
it.
this little Jeep.
Wow,
I mean,
amazing.
it's just
Previous
insane.
now. Is that
That's
the Jeep? Brilliant.
Yeah. So sorry for anyone
Is that
that's
him?
listening here.
Is
That's
that him?
old Ed. Yeah, Ed March. He's British. Of course, he's British. The British people are just such eccentrics. I love it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's a stupid little Jeep.
World's smallest Jeep. Yeah, it's like a kid's Jeep. isn't it?
Ridiculous.
But he can go on a road.
Well, he got a license and everything. That's the
incredible.
first episode. He talks about how he got a license.
Brilliant.
This is him now trying to cross the salt flats.
What's it called?
So this is episode 3, bombs, salt, and trouble. Yeah, he ends up in a zone where they're testing bombs. The military are testing bombs, and he's ridden for like hours. He gets to the spot and is like, sorry, you can't come past you. It's like, oh crap! Now he has to turn around and go all the way back again.
So for those listening, what's the
So
one called?
So this one, will the mini Jeep make it to Moab? This is episode 3, bombs, salt, and trouble.
Brilliant.
Yeah, this little
God, look
Jeep.
at the size of it.
It's tiny.
He's
It's got
sitting
all
in
his
that.
gear, everything there.
It's
He's
the size of a chair.
filming himself. There's no one else involved in this. This is a
Hang on,
drone.
He's got a drone there, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's not going to help him push the push the Jeep when he needs to.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just great. But yeah, he's done
he's
quite
on his
a few
own.
trips.
Is he on his own?
He's on his own. In the Alaska to Argentina, he ended up doing part of the trip with a girl. I don't know if he met her on the trip or it was somebody from England that he had met.
It didn't work out because he's on his own.
Well,
again.
it didn't work out. Spoiler alert. There were a few challenges there, which was sad. But everyone's like waiting for where is she? Why haven't we seen her on this episode?
Did she die?
No,
That's fine then.
no. But it's a tough one. I mean, this
course it's
guy is the most stubborn guy you've ever met in
He's
your
a Lone
life.
Ranger,
Watching
isn't
what
he?
he does,
Well,
and you have to have a certain fortitude.
I
to be
know
able
a few
to do.
stubborn people.
That's stubborn. Okay, actually, you're probably about that stubborn, Steve.
No, I know people that are more stubborn, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd watch it. It's
No, we'll do. I'll have a look
it's
at that.
definitely something.
Very
It makes you want to get out there and do something, right? He's living his life. He's having adventures.
I might do it in my kayak. I'll go down the river.
What, Norfolk to Cambridge.
Yeah, a bit far. Maybe just Norfolk to Great Yarmouth.
Oh, there you go.
Spend the day going down the river.
Huckleberry Finn
So
style.
that'd be quite nice. You should come with us. You and I go and do a trip. We go down the river. We'll
They
go
don't
and
make
camp.
canoes my size, Steve.
That is true. We need a boat. No,
Get a tractor tire.
no, the kayak
send
I've
that.
got.
You can tow me.
I think you could go on it.
I think you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
No, I it's one thing I really do miss here. I try to get a piece of it. The ocean. We live so close to the ocean. We did so many good things in the sea. You know,
It's not
that
far
sort of
from there. It's lovely.
It's not far, but it's a different type of sea. The fishing,
100%
we-
different.
But that's my point, though,
Yeah,
right?
very
It's
different.
like I remember getting phone calls from you after you had tried going out to the sea to do a bit of fishing
yeah.
with your kayak.
Unbelievable.
You just couldn't get it out. It was
Just
just
can't
silly
fish,
waves right
honest.
on the thing, and
I remember going out half an hour and I looked at my watch. And I set the GPS on there. It went out. It was so strong. Came back in and you could see I was just in one place. The whole time I was paddling for half an hour and I didn't move. It was terrible.
I don't want to ruin my memories of the sea by doing that. I know that sounds silly, but that's just how my mind works, right? I have such fond memories of the stuff we used to do, deep sea
Well,
fishing.
Yellow Sands was
Yellow Sands.
my favorite beach.
It's beautiful.
That is my favorite beach. There's no
stunning.
two ways.
Perfect.
But
You got the river, the most beautiful river, the best crabs I've ever eaten.
oysters,
Catching their oysters around the corner, or right in the mouth.
sole, we'd spear
Sole.
sole. Yeah.
I remember the time that you stood on a ray. I don't think you got shocked, but something moved under your
electric
foot.
ray.
You were walking on
No, they're
water.
all
man.
electric. They were
Did you get shocked?
terrible, yeah. Or that time we were diving for Perlamon,
Yeah.
and I was alongside the rocks, and then there was a deep pool, and I looked to my right, and there was this duckbill ray, and I remember it's a duckbill ray, but I didn't think so at the time. I thought it was a shark.
It doesn't matter what you're seeing down there.
Honestly,
They're
I
bigger
looked.
underwater.
I saw this thing, and I just in one movement I was on the rocks. It was like that. That was scary.
I remember diving, I think it was in Cape Town, and I have no problems with dolphin whatsoever. But if you see one underwater where you
With
didn't
just
see
that
them in the
fin.
distance,
That's when you see that
because
fin.
in Cape Town, well, it's not that. It's in Cape Town, you got all the seaweed. So I was diving in between the seaweed.
Yeah.
So you can't see in the distance. You can't see anything coming. So when something suddenly just swims past you and you think that could be anything. That could be a shark. That could be anything. But it's huge. I mean, dolphins like your size.
I remember getting Simone with that when she was on the paddle ski.
Yeah.
I said, Simone, shark. It was a dolphin. Shark. Jesus, fin. Oh, my goodness. Paddle like mad.
But it's a different world. And you can't really describe it to someone. I mean, how much wildlife have you seen here? I mean, listen, I don't want to be too disrespectful.
I've seen plenty. Pheasants. Quail.
Well, actually, I think isn't quail.
I haven't seen many quail. Yeah, you do, but I haven't seen many. See a lot of pheasants.
Yeah.
A lot of
Is Attenborough? He's doing a show. He's doing a
whitetail.
series just started about UK wildlife. I'm very interested to see. I
there's
mean, that's gonna be a
plenty.
short episode.
No, there's plenty. There's plenty.
No, I know. I actually out here we have seen quite a bit. There's a lot of birds, and Absolutely, my favorite so far has to be the little hedgehogs. We've had a few of them around here.
You can't eat them.
They're such idiots.
You can't eat them.
No, but they're idiots. Man, they're stupid.
Yeah.
It's like if I don't look at him, then he won't see me.
Marley
It just stops
them.
dead. Is it? Well, it likes eating them.
Well, he doesn't like things in his garden. So he's a problem.
But I miss the ocean, and I'd love to.
I love the sea.
I'd love to do. You remember Dad got his boat when he was here, and it's just. I'd love
It's
to.
different.
I wanted to, but it's
different.
also I didn't want to because I know it would not be the same. It's not the same as going fishing in South Africa, where
It's totally different. Yeah. Totally different. But it's still nice to be out in the sea.
no, I did
it
like.
is
Like
nice.
when we went, I don't know where we went there. When we did some cold swimming and injured ourselves with the stupid waves breaking directly on the shore.
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah, that
Still
was
got
up
bruises, man.
Norfolk.
My back's
That was
still sore.
incredible. I enjoyed that.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I miss swimming.
We had a great time. It was
Yeah.
was you, me, Andre.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Enjoyed that. I went back there
Got wrecked.
a week later.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob was playing football up there. And I went and had a swim. Yeah, and that was brilliant.
Well, Dad said he's been cold water with you, sea, is it?
Yeah, him and I went to
How did he manage that?
local. He was
Because
good.
he's
No,
a
he was
big
good.
supporter of cold showers. He kept telling us, you got to have a cold shower.
He does it, Jim. Yeah, he has. Well, he doesn't have a choice. They only have a cold shower there. But yeah, we went camping last year, and him and I did the sea, but it wasn't cold. It was only like 12 degrees,
Not
and
like
we were there
Arctic.
3 minutes. No, not like when we do the ice bath where it's 1 to 2 degrees. He was,
I don't care. It could give me an extra 10 years of my life. I don't think I want to be doing it.
oh, come on, you feel much better. That's good.
Chili's meant to elongate
Next
your
time
life.
you
I
come
won't do
over,
that.
we'll do ice bath, sauna. You'll love it.
Have you got a sauna? Oh, you have. You've still got that. It's still working all right.
Yeah, it's good. Works really well.
I can do a sauna. That's fine. I'll sit in the
Not for
sauna,
too
no
long,
problem.
but yeah, I could do it. Yeah. No, we'll do half an hour sauna, and then we'll do the ice bath, and then we'll get back in the sauna, and then we'll have a braai.
See, that sounds good, but ice bath, man.
It is good. Well, half an hour in the sauna, you'll want the ice bath.
No.
But that's not when you do it. You've got to do it at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
That's the time for the ice bath.
See, there's two problems with that. I don't see 6 in the morning,
Okay, yeah. That's
and
true.
I don't do freezing cold
We
water.
keep telling me you're busy. Get up at 6.
I'm busy until like 2, 3 in the morning. Getting
Yeah,
up
and
at
then
6
get up
then
at
means
6.
I'll never sleep.
You'll have 3 more hours in the day. Beautiful.
I like the logic, but it doesn't quite work.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Oh, dear.
I think we're going to have to wrap this up because, I mean, you
Mind you, I
literally
got
came
in
through the
pretty
door
late,
when we
didn't I?
started this. Yeah, you came in pretty late. And I'm sure Mrs. Chili
it's good
Chump
to
would
see you
love to
again.
hear a bit from you as well.
Actually,
Well, she'll just watch the podcast, right? She'll be fine.
probably don't think so because I think they're watching a movie.
They're watching a movie.
Yeah. So we
What
could
are they
probably-
watching?
We could talk a bit more.
We can carry on
actually.
talking.
Why don't we have another
That's the
drink?
nice thing with. I'm happy with another drink.
Come on,
That's
then.
the nice thing with these
Let's top this
podcasts.
up.
Could even make this a part 2, right?
You do what you like. I'm just having a drink.
That's the nice thing with podcasts, though.
Yeah.
The length doesn't really matter, whether it's an hour-long podcast or not. The way I listen to podcasts, I find it weird.
Bothered. As long as I come and have a chat, catch
Oh,
up.
no, I'm enjoying
catch
that.
up with
That's
you,
that's
that's
good.
the main
But
thing.
we also got to think about the people that are listening to this.
Oh, yes, of course.
You know, those people.
Sorry.
You know, on the other side of the mic.
I think you have to think about that. I don't need to.
You don't have to give a damn.
I think about you and catching up.
Yeah, but you do know we can catch up without the microphones. It's just
Hey,
this
you
way.
told me
we
to
get-
put the microphone and the headset on. Come on, then. Let's have a. So, tell me how you make this juice.
I can't tell you how I make that juice because I don't make that juice.
Okay.
But it does have some plums in it.
Oh, it's nice.
It tastes better as it's
Really good,
smooth, isn't it?
I'm feeling. It's nice.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, a friend of mine has got some lovely rum on the go. So,
Oh, is it?
yeah.
Who?
It's he has a
you
license
name
and
him?
everything.
Okay. Is he close?
Very close.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. All right, we'll talk about that afterwards. We need to sign up for a sheep or a pig in summer.
Oh, yeah? What, do you your...
No, I mean on your spit.
I was going to say, because I need to sign up for some meat as well. You normally do that with Dad, where you buy a whole thing. And
You get a whole
split it
beast,
up.
yeah. But we need to do it.
Oh, I need to do another split. Yeah, I need to actually clean it out. I haven't cleaned it out since Mom's
I
birthday.
didn't
Actually,
expect you would. But
what time do I have?
we do need. Well, you clean it up before the next time you use it.
You want to do a sheep? I don't know. Pig's my favorite. On
No,
the
do a
split.
pig and a sheep.
Yeah.
I was saying a whole animal. I don't know which one, but sorry, vegetarian.
And it's also
again.
the easiest.
Keep offending the vegetarian.
Oh, you can put a bunch of cabbages on there too.
We always have coleslaw, coleslaw, and sauerkraut when we have pork.
Sauerkraut. Oh,
Love sauerkraut.
I do love sauerkraut.
Yeah, and I love sauerkraut. Goes well with ice
With
wine. But yeah, no, we definitely need a pig on the spit. That'd be amazing.
That's got to be one of the best investments. I mean, okay, it doesn't.
You've used it twice. You've done well.
No, 3 times. 3
Have you?
times now.
Hang
Yeah,
on.
First time I really
Whoa.
screwed it up. No, I did a test.
Was I here?
I did it with chickens. And
Always best to check.
I had very unhappy customers too. Very unhappy customers. Caroline's aunt and
Were they blackened?
well, both aunts were here. No, I didn't get the heat right. I didn't get the
so raw
coals at
inside.
temperature. So the chickens took about 3 hours. We ate at 11.
Oh dear.
I was like, you could have put it in the oven.
practice.
Much quicker.
Oh dear.
No, I just, it was the first time I was using it, so
Yeah,
I had to
gotta
just
have a
figure
go.
out like how high.
It's actually a decent machine though. You've got a great spit there. No, it was
Well, I
good.
got that. I got that for
nice.
my birthday. So we had
That's
a
right.
choice. So in, I think it was my 40th actually when we were in the
Yeah.
old place.
I wasn't here. I couldn't make that.
Yeah, thanks. Steve.
went to
Thanks,
Zim.
Steve. Did you?
Yeah, I was away in Zimbabwe in South Africa.
Really?
2019. Wasn't it?
It feels like so long ago, man. Actually, it is long. It was 4 years ago.
2019. yeah.
Crazy.
Pre-COVID. Yeah.
But we had ordered a pig on the spit. Now, if you do that in South Africa, you get someone to do a pig on the spit. They'll arrive at your house with a cold spit roast.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be a raw pig, and they would prep it in front of you, and it'd be a whole day event. When you do it here,
Comes cooked.
They come, it's pre-cooked, it's wrapped up in tinfoil. They're going to stick it on the skewer. They stick gas underneath and they heat things up for you, and then they serve it to you. The whole thing takes like an hour. The whole point of a spit roast, it's like Braais, right?
event,
It's the event. It's the whole thing. It's the prep.
That's why you bought your own.
So, and also it's the price. When we looked into it the first time around, I think it cost us like $400 for a whole pig on the spit, which is all right. But it's not cheap. The second time around when we did it here, when we moved to this place, we asked around. Caroline was trying to find some pricing,
Yeah.
and the cheapest she could find it sourced was $800. Now where we are, you wouldn't expect it to be expensive, but yeah, $800. So I said, screw it. You know, I started looking online and I found a premium spit roast like machine with electric
The
motor, that good quality one,
the
all
ones that
stainless
caterers
steel,
use.
proper catering one, and it cost me about $600. So it's not a lot. The pig cost me $100, and then all I have to do is buy the coal. And now I've used it 3 times. I've paid for myself. Well, I paid for myself in the first time round, right? We save money.
So if we have it this summer, it's free.
Well, yeah, you're going to buy the pig. It's free.
No, it's free. You've paid for it, so it's good. So if you get one in summer, I'll be here. I'll bring the family as well.
But again, it's a great event, especially when the summer is out. I'd like to put it out on the lawn or something.
Nice. And now you've built this area over here. It's
Well,
brilliant.
part of the reason we built that is so we could do these sort of things, the podcast, and I also want to do some videos out there cooking on the Braai. I
look forward to it.
I want to do some outdoor things. So I have obviously a beautiful studio that I built for my sauces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good idea as well to have some different scenery. So doing it outside, having an outdoor kitchen. That's kind of what I want to build this year, is get that outdoor kitchen going.
Yeah, it'd be good.
It's
Look
just
forward to that.
it'll make it a bit more ad hoc. When you're in a studio, like I have my kitchen studio, it feels like that.
Yeah, but that's your studio. We get Steve from next door. We have a Brian. No, it'd be good. Definitely.
I'm looking forward to. I want to take advantage of the summer this year a lot more than I did last year. I just felt like we didn't have enough Braais. We didn't have enough get-togethers.
Well, you only do it in summer, so can't believe you're a fair
Really.
weather Brian.
I'm not a fair weather Braai.
You are.
I've Braaied in the snow. I tell you that.
You
much.
have you? Well, the gas
Back
freezes.
in 1963.
I remember, last year.
We had to keep shaking the gas to get it
butane.
working. Yeah, it'd be nice, and hopefully you guys can come around as well. It'd be nice.
Well, not a problem at all.
Again,
around.
you're always invited. It's not
Always here.
always here.
Always here.
That's the problem. As you get older, you assume you're going to get more freedom, and you kind of do, but you end up not really having that freedom. There's so many commitments. There's
always something to do, isn't there? Always
a job, especially when you live in a place like this. I mean,
You've always
we'll
got
mow the
something to
lawn.
do.
By the time we finish mowing the lawn, we have to start again on the other side.
You've always got a hedge to trim. Mind you, get other
Well,
people.
we've got that organised, so we do it twice a year now. We really cut it back hard at the end of last year, so I think we'll be okay until probably end of April, maybe early May. Then we'll do one more trim.
Oh, I tell you what's good this year. Asparagus.
Oh, I'm so
That's
excited.
coming. That's
Honestly,
got to be ready.
again, it's one of those things that makes me think, man, I am
coming
getting
June,
old.
July.
But at the same time, I don't give a damn.
I love
I'm so
asparagus.
excited. I'm so excited about that. And
Can't
it's
wait for that.
It's not about that. I love asparagus. I'm looking forward to eating it.
But it's your own.
But it's the fact that I've spent 3 years to get to this point.
Nurturing
3
those
years
crowns,
where I've had to
those
look at
asparagus
this.
crowns.
There are already some coming up.
Beautiful.
I don't know why they're coming up so soon. There's some
Spring.
coming
Yeah,
up.
they start. You need to start chopping them.
Well, I've cut them all back. I've cut back all the old growth now, and I've put a layer of compost on top.
Yeah.
So ready to go. Oh man, I just hope. I know next year is probably going to be a better harvest once the roots spread a bit more.
This year is good.
But this year should be, looking
Yeah, I look
forward
forward to that.
to it. Artichokes as well, but we've had artichokes from day one. It's been incredible.
All right, don't rub it in. I haven't had any.
Gem squash, I've got to figure that out.
I had 3 last year of your gem squash.
If anybody's listening to this podcast that has proper gem squash isolated seeds, please contact me and send me some
You're going to
because
swap for chilies.
I'll swap with anything. But the problem is I had some.
Caroline?
Tony had sent me some. He had brought some
Tony,
back from
the-
South Africa.
From
cousin
Simply-
Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Cousin Tony. He had brought some back from South Africa, like proper. The
They
old
were
school.
good. I've had some.
They
more
were.
gems.
The problem is I wasn't isolating them because I was growing other squashes and pumpkins and stuff.
So they've
and they've crossed.
cross-pollinated.
So
you got pumpkin.
I had one of my patrons because one of the tiers on my patron, one of the benefits is you get a bunch of different seeds from me.
crying. Yeah.
TIERS, is that you get some seeds from me. So I get some random seeds from my chili growers and things like that.
Yeah.
And also, it was a year ago or 2 years ago, I sent some of my seeds from my gem squashes. And I got an email from one of my South African mates who lives in the UK, and he's like, Sean, so do gem squash start out white? Oh, sorry, Anton. No, they don't.
That's cross-pollinated.
Because I started seeing
with
some
a
white
pumpkin.
ones in mine. I'm like, oh no. I got some decent, but no. So I need to isolate. I know how to isolate now. These because it's not something I really looked
Yeah,
into.
we need to get proper gems. Yeah.
I don't care about
Obviously,
every other
I had-
squash or pumpkin. I don't give a damn about them. Gem squashes, that is it. For
Yeah,
a braai, you've got to
love
have a
the
gem
gems.
squash. Gem squash, some corn. That's all you
I don't
really
even
need.
care about
That's
the corn.
vegetable.
It's the gems.
I know. I love my corn. man.
Gem
Gem squash is just amazing. Proper gem squash.
And then the corn. Don't get me started on corn. White corn, yellow corn.
Have you seen
Sweet corn.
What do they call them? Gem corns.
Never.
So
What's that?
sinus.
Your
Sinus is playing up. I really hope it's not.
I think it's your plum juice. Easy. What's plum juice? Oh dear.
So the gem corn is really cool. It's
Never heard of it.
it's all just different colors, like red and yellow and
Serious?
stuff. Yeah, we
Bring
need to
it
get the IT guy. Hey, IT guy. Yes, what can I
Bring
do
it
for
up,
you?
Sean. Let's have a look at that.
I remember my password. But yeah, gem.
Gem corn.
Yeah,
Why have I never heard of that?
right.
Bloody
That's right. You know, one day we'll do this live, right there. You can check them out, man.
Chat-
That looks
chat
awesome. Look
Sean.
at those. Look up some gem corn. I'll try and put it up on the screen if you're going to see this on the video.
It's like an old homeless man's teeth.
What different colors?
Shit.
I mean, that doesn't look real, but
Right.
it is. It's
Two
just
questions.
beautiful.
Never seen that before. How the hell do you know about that shit?
Steve, how do I know about half the stuff I know
Yeah, I
about?
know. I come in here, I learn so much stuff when I come to visit you. It's like gem corn. I mean, why would you know about gem corn?
I watched.
Now I know they're £1.29 for two kernels of gem
kernels.
corn.
But how awesome is that? Apparently, it doesn't taste very good.
Unbelievable. No.
So the other day,
White mealies. Oh, man.
well, sweet corn is. I've been growing sweet corn.
Yeah,
I
sweet
know it's
corn's
cheating,
lovely. I
but
love
proper
sweet corn.
mealies, you
White
can't get mealies here.
Oh, man. No, you
And again,
can.
for people
You
that are
can.
listening, a
some
mealie is
Zimbabweans
corn.
are farming them here.
Really?
Yeah.
The proper white
You
stuff.
can get them, yeah.
Because the nice thing with that is it's not sugary. It's not too
beautiful.
much starch.
That
And
on a
it's just-
fire.
I remember, so
Used to buy them in Zim on the side of the road.
I know this podcast, probably a lot of it is just reminiscing and stuff. And hey, hopefully people enjoyed it. So
Those mealies on the side.
I don't want
of
to
the
say the
road.
guy's name, but he has such a unique surname. Love the guy. I don't think you ever
Who are you
met him.
talking about? I don't know.
Darren. And if you're listening, man,
Where is
reach
he?
out because
Where's
I have
Darren?
such fond memories, man. Darren was in Zimbabwe. He lived next door to us when we lived in Shinoy.
Oh, when you were at, what's that college?
Lamagandi.
Lamagandi.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's what gunshots. I remember
so-
that place.
yeah, it was that place.
Okay.
Anyway, he brought me out to his family's farm, and I remember the corn. This is what made me think of that. It was the first time I ever rode a horse, and literally we got on the horse. It wasn't like, okay, now we're going to learn how to trot. No. Hey, Sean, let's go full blast. Go.
Gallop.
And I did it, and thankfully I was a bit of a natural, so I knew how to take it, and
You were hanging onto his neck.
loved it until we were playing. Then we were having a braai in the backyard. We brought the horses around there, and I was like, "Oh, we're gonna play catches now, touches." So so I'll touch you, then you're it, and then I'm like, "I've just learned how to ride today." I fell off the horse. Horses are quite high up, Steve.
Oh, they
And,
are. I don't.
when I hit the
don't
ground, I'm
drive.
like,
I don't drive horses.
Darren, I think I'm dying.
Yeah, they got brains. I'm not. Yeah, I ride a motorbike, but I don't like riding horses.
Well, again, it's some of my favorite memories ever is being on that farm. The horses, we went hunting. We went on. That's why we got on these horses, because we're going to go hunting for a male kudu that they needed to cull.
Yeah.
Because it was a bit old, and they need to bring in some
You
fresh
sound
blood.
like you're being politically correct here.
Well, we had some biltong for a year.
But yeah, that is what you do. Yeah.
But yeah, I was sad because I ended up doing the final
did
shot.
you shoot it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I
You
learned how to
murderer. You murderer.
That could be a whole podcast on its own again. That whole trip. You know some of what I did there, but he taught me how to
I don't
shoot.
actually hear much.
So I've been shooting. We've been shooting all our lives. On
the
in
farm,
South Africa. That's what
obviously,
we learn how to shoot.
That's how
But
you survive.
he brought me. he showed me. So again, I was like 10, 11 at that time, and he gave me a.
You sure?
Yeah, that was when we were out there.
11. Yeah.
No, 12.
you were
So
in
it was
Zim,
before I was a teenager
12. Yeah, you moved there. Okay.
for a year.
So I wasn't with you at that point.
No.
was
He
in South
brought
Africa.
out a 30-06.
Okay. Elephant shooting
Yeah,
weapon.
and let's go straight into that.
That's good for elephants.
I was bruised badly, but yeah, that's how we took down the kudu. But yeah, we tracked this thing for a week, or about 4 days, because we ended up shooting it. It was about a week, the whole trip that we did.
Yeah.
But we tracked it. We had a cart drawn by horses. We were on horseback.
Proper.
We camped out.
Nice.
It was beautiful. We shot what we needed, whether it was a rabbit or whatever. We ate everything.
Did you
that
get the
we
biltong?
Yeah, we ended up. We shared
brilliant.
it. But I remember when we ended up catching up with this kudu, it was such a beautiful animal, and I was so sad. I was so sad. I was
that the
excited
first
because
one?
your adrenaline's going. You're out in the bush, and people won't understand, and people might have
Is that the first one you killed?
that sort of stuff. I mean, I've been shooting before. We've
Yeah,
been
obviously.
hunting before. But yeah, nothing
It's
that
a majestic
It's a
animal, yeah.
it's a 1-ton animal.
Yeah, it's
it's
massive.
a beautiful animal, and I knew why we were doing it. It was necessary for.
Well, they had more than one buck.
It was fighting the young bucks, and they need to bring new blood into. So it's just, So we had to cull it, and we tracked it down, and I took the
As long
shot.
as you don't waste the meat.
It was a perfect shot, Steve. It was such a weird thing. It was such a perfect shot. It was center the head, but it was such a big animal.
That's a hell of a
30-06.
shot, that, Bruce.
It was a good shot.
Instead of through the heart.
Yeah, it was
You
head.
went to the
I could
head.
see it. I could only see the head. There was a
incredible.
branch, and it stuck its head up and looked at
Normally
me,
you go chest.
but I couldn't see the chest.
Wow, that's good.
So shot it, and it was a perfect shot. We saw afterwards when we brought it down later.
That's incredible.
And it got
Sorry
it
to the
center,
vegetarians again.
but it
This
hit
should be the
and
meat
it
eaters
skimmed.
podcast.
It,
Yeah,
it,
sorry.
it went round. It
Yeah.
it didn't penetrate. even the 3006, which is an elephant gun, literally.
Yeah, no, that's a beast.
So we chased it down now with 38 specials. I mean, because now I'm panicking because I do not want this animal to suffer.
Bro.
It was a hell of an experience for a 12-year-old.
Honestly.
Let's go.
No, this isn't right.
Bear in mind, Darren's an adult.
Yeah.
He was in his 20s.
He should have been running this.
So we chased it. But now I'm panicking because I do not want this animal to suffer. Oh, God,
It's like my son when he went fishing the first
This
time.
is going off the rails.
You're in trouble.
But I didn't want this animal to suffer. We finally got it. Now
This guy that grows chili is a murderer.
So we brought this animal down and it was down.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to top you up with some plum juice.
yeah, this plum juice is...
They're still watching a movie in there. We can carry on. Yeah.
Yeah, we had biltong.
But you got the biltong?
So we went back to his place and he had 2 rondavels.
Yeah.
Literally, I remember this so vividly. I was 12 years old, man. That's like, 120 years ago. And
Yeah, it was a while.
rondavels, and we cut up the biltong. We spent the day doing that.
So
cut
there's
up the
like
meat.
round huts for anyone listening.
Is that what that means? Rondavel, right? Yeah. Round house.
Yeah.
So these round huts, probably, I think those huts were probably made out of asbestos. No, asbestos.
Not even the old cowpats. These are proper,
proper
stuff that
rondavels.
kills you.
Meshed fence thing,
Yeah.
but to keep the flies off,
Normally
you
it's
have
dung.
fans, right?
Normally it's animal dung.
No.
But no, we use asbestos because that kills you faster.
I don't know. I had this feeling there was asbestos, but I remember we cut these all up, and we had a proper butchery that he was, on that they had this done. So we sliced it all up, we marinated, and that's where I got the recipe that I share on my site in the process. That I
the
share
biltong recipe
on my video. But yeah, we hung this all up, metal hooks, string actually, and just lined it all up. And there's just oscillating fan just to keep the flies off.
Yeah,
That's
sorry,
all it's for. It's not.
vegetarians again. Yeah.
But yeah, we then took that home and we had biltong because that was early on in the year. We had biltong for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my story.
Yeah, I
about
love it. I remember when we went to Andre's parents' farm. Do you remember that?
When they got married, and Andre's gift was to go shooting an animal.
He tried to shoot that black spot.
Shoot anything.
And he kept aiming high.
I've got
kept
photos
missing.
of this. This is Andre who
Him and I, he's
he's the gunman. Right? He's
shooter. No
he was
problem.
very upset.
No problem. Do you want to set the sights, Andre? No, I'm fine. So we're behind the anthill. Miss. Are you sure?
It's the wind.
Miss.
It's the wind.
Oh, jeez. That was terrible, wasn't it?
I've
But
never
I got a
laughed so
stick of
much.
biltong then. His dad gave me a stick of biltong. It was the size of my arm. Oh, it was
It
beautiful.
definitely wasn't from anything that Andre shot because Andre
No,
didn't
it
shoot.
definitely wasn't. Yeah, no, I took that thing to bed with me, just nibbling on that all night long. That was beautiful.
Biltong. Yeah, and I still get people commenting. I actually had a comment the other day about this is just jerky. Don't tell me it's just jerky. It's
They're
not
very
jerky.
different, aren't they?
It's a very different.
Very different.
And listen, I like jerky.
I like
But
jerky
it's not
too,
biltong.
but they're definitely different.
It's not
Yeah.
biltong.
No, they're all different.
I do want to make dry horse this year. I've got to do that.
Yeah.
Because, man, it's expensive. I went into
It's
London.
expensive to make and it's expensive.
Is it expensive
to
to make?
buy. Well, you got to buy beef fat, and beef fat's a lot more
What,
expensive
tallow?
than pork fat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's a.
But I got a shop where we can get.
What are you paying per kilogram?
Now you got me. £24 a kilo.
Okay, that's not too far off. A Savannah, I think it's called Savannah. It's London.
Savannah's.
They used to have a smaller. They only had one,
no,
like
Savannah.
a tiny little place. But now they've spread across.
Yeah,
King's
Savannah
Cross
got a
has one.
few.
London Bridge has one. But it's really good. It's
That'll
actually
be
really
more
good
than
dry
that,
horse. But man, it's expensive. I think I
it'll be
spent
more
30
than
quid for half a kilogram.
Yeah, I think 24 at this place in Milton Keynes.
So this must be 30.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
It's £24 a kilo, and it's 36 elsewhere. So it's good value. And I'm not
That's my favourite
sure-
snack. That's
I'm
gotta
not
be my
sure
favourite
if
snack.
It costs less to make it than 24
I want to try. I got to figure it out.
because the pork, the beef fat's expensive because you can't use pork fat because it goes rancid.
Yeah.
So you have to use beef fat for when you're making dried horse, and that's the problem. When you make boerewors, it's fine. You
Well, I
can
was going to
use
say, we
pork
talked
fat.
about boerewors earlier when
Yeah.
with Adrian's question about a braai. That's one thing as well.
Oh, you got to have boerewors.
You've got to have
Braai.
boerewors,
Yeah.
which
And
is...
I need to make another batch.
I have tried yours. It was really good. But we've got to do
Thank
it
you very
on a
much.
video because people
Very
got to see it. I've been asked so many times in the comments,
Boerewors?
people how to make
Yeah,
boerewors.
Dad keeps telling me we need to make boerewors. So
Well, come around here and make it.
I do.
What do you
we
need?
make 30 kilos at a time, so it's
What do you need for it? I mean, so I used
well,
to have
it's
a
just
mixer.
Mixture. I've got all the equipment.
Okay, I have a grinder because I use
I've
that,
got all that. No,
for
I've
making my
got
chutney.
stuff.
My
I've got proper
Mrs. Balls.
proper stuff.
I bought a grinder just for that to grind up things, but
Yeah,
it
no.
can do meat as well. So
No, I've got the equipment to do it. It takes me a day to make 30 kilos of boerewors
really, why so long? Just
because you got to take the sinew off the meat. When you're cutting through the beef, you make sure it's all cleaned.
I had some amazing boerewors from Kelly. Kelly's one of my admins on Patreon, on Discord, and on Facebook as well. And her husband is South African.
Oh, brilliant!
And I don't know. I'm guessing he made it. Sorry, Kelly, if you
Have
didn't.
you
But they
got
brought
any?
some over. No, we ate it. It was good
Oh,
stuff.
right. Okay.
Well, sorry, but it was really
I
good.
got you. No dinner, no nothing.
Oh, I did ask. I did offer.
No,
it was last
I-
minute
I
because you
took
were
away.
meant to come tomorrow.
I was coming tomorrow, but I thought I'd come today. I'll surprise you.
Oh, thanks, Steve. Oh, surprise.
Surprise!
Yeah, that's what I love. Getting this all set up for a surprise. Good time.
Have you set it up? Let's go. Let's go early. Keep you on your toes.
My brother doesn't he doesn't know why I complain about how much work this is to set up and then edit.
I don't
He just sits down and drinks my alcohol and then
I'm not sure about this work. Mind you, growing up, there was a lot of
Well, there
work,
was a
and
lot
you
of
weren't
work,
involved in the work.
I got involved sometimes.
Well, hang on, you were under the trailer, like sleeping.
Well, manual labor's not for
I
me.
was
Steve.
working. You were under the trailer. How were you working? Wait, what were you doing?
I think that happened once. You guys
No,
use that
happened
example.
all the time.
That happened once.
And then the other time, I tell you what, let's put the silo together.
Oh,
You decided.
Okay. You brought
No.
this up now. I've still got scars.
Have
Thank you.
Where? They're gone. They're gone.
Well, it's spread down a bit, but
Okay, yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I'm still numb in my hands, Steve.
Oh, shame.
I got like, what do they call it?
Do you know what it was? You couldn't fit through that hole.
No, I could fit through that hole. I was just trying to do it
That's had to
gently.
push
You
you.
pushed me through that hole, and I slid down and had bolts shoved through my hands,
Anyway.
which was good fun.
Yeah. That was funny. Every
No, it
time
wasn't
you had
funny.
to do some work, you had to-
No. You see, the nice thing with that is you don't realize. I mean, listen, my life has turned out all right, so I'm not going to
You're
complain too
lying
much.
in bed there with your feet, your hands up.
It's not funny, Steve.
I got a problem.
'Cause that
My
was a
tendons
day-
are torn.
That was a day before I had an interview. The biggest interview of my life until that point.
Not the biggest.
No,
'Cause
at that point it was,
Turns
Steve.
out it wasn't, was it? So,
But I went.
fine.
It's actually Sue had organized this on Sue, and
But-
it was with an insurance company.
Turns out it doesn't matter.
But the best thing is, it's for an IT position, and I'm sitting at a board
yeah.
table, and it's like I'm sitting at the table. I'm at the head of the table, and you got all these people dressed smartly. I couldn't dress smartly because I couldn't get
No,
clothes
your hands weren't
over my
working
hands.
properly.
So I had to be t-shirt,
Yeah, fair enough.
which my sister had to help me put my pants on. Great times. But I was sitting there, and
Why
they're
so
like,
small? Yeah.
and the best thing is these guys all there, like, I mean, they don't want to address the fact I'm bandaged up
Yeah.
and I
How you
can't
gonna
move my
decide?
fingers.
Yeah.
Because at that point it was so swollen up I could not move my fingers. And they said, well, there is a physical exam here with some typing involved. Are you going to be
problem.
okay?
I
I'm
can
like,
use fingers.
"Listen, well, I can't use my fingers right now, but the doctors say that should be okay within a week.
Soon,
We'll get back to you.
Never
They
heard
never
from
got
them
back to
again,
me.
no?
No, I'm still waiting, Steve.
their loss.
One day.
Their loss.
One day I'll hear
Your
back from
gain.
It was.
Oh,
I don't know why I pitched up at that
Funny.
meeting. I was
Why?
what was
Why?
I? 19 at the time. 18.
No, you were younger than that. 18 must be
young.
18.
I was young.
That
I
was.
thought I'd enter the corporate world.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
You did eventually, but
It was obviously not
then.
meant to be at that
Not at that
stage.
point.
It took ages, man.
was
I was
funny.
freaked out because I mean, my checks were going to be written by what I could do with my hands in front of a computer.
That was funny. Yeah, that wasn't funny. It's funny what a bolt can do to a hand.
It's funny now. It wasn't funny then. I didn't think I was ever going to move my hands again. I
I was
couldn't move
worried
my
about
fingers.
getting those silos up in the air. I thought, we've got problems there. Oh dear. Funny.
I wonder if they're still up.
No, they went.
No?
No, when Dad sold the farm, they moved.
Is it?
They took them down. All that work gone.
That's how these
So
things
we
go.
move on. Yeah, we're here now. But no, definitely
Everything happens for a reason, though, doesn't it?
we need to get that pig on the spit this
100%.
summer.
Well, I
wait.
wonder what...
We'll do a weekend, so we'll come up on a Friday. Oh, that's something we need to sort
What's
out.
that?
4x4 weekend with Dad.
Yeah, Dad's ultra keen. Super
I know,
keen.
but
Just got back from
we
doing
need
that
to
in
sort
South
that out.
Africa.
Yeah, we need to do that. So I've organised with him. We're going to come up on a Friday, do the thing Saturday, go back Sunday. So maybe we do a
Where
proper
is it?
braai. I don't know. You bought it for him.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. No, I remember.
Yeah, you remember well. Kaz,
That's Mrs.
any
ChilliChump over
chance you
there.
can let us know where it is?
Suckling pig. I'll have to
Where,
figure it out.
where did you get the pig last time?
There's this website I have.
Okay.
I just need to see if the prices have changed. I mean, hey, listen. I mean, there was $100 for a piglet
Price
that was
change,
like
doesn't
I think it was
matter.
20 kilograms.
It's more important that we have a pig.
For $100 for 20 kilograms.
If it's
That's
120,
insanity.
we still have it.
No,
it's good.
At twice the price, it was still be
Oh,
good.
they finished the video.
Have they finished the
the
movie?
movie, yeah. That means we need to wrap up
Might
tomorrow.
need to wrap up a bit.
Yeah. But there we go.
Oh, no.
Hello. Oh,
We're getting eyes.
getting the eyes there coming sideways. Right, we better go.
We better wrap this up. It's been fun. Hope you guys
good
have
to speak
enjoyed
to you
this.
again,
An
and
hour and 40.
yeah,
hour and
no, it's good
47.
to see you. And
I'm not counting the hours that we're talking.
Yeah, I was
but
going to say,
it's
do you
more
want me to
about-
go now, or what?
No, you can stick around.
Is
Steve.
that
I'm sure
time
there's.
up now? I need to go to bed.
I mean,
or-
you've almost finished my alcohol, so you can't leave it at that.
there's not a lot there. I must say.
No, it's been awesome speaking again, Steve.
Good.
And
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sure-
good to see you again. And
Let's just make it happen a bit sooner next time.
we'll make the gap smaller.
People are waiting. They want to see what the next. And listen, we've got our fan in South Africa that we've got to please.
You're,
So-
you're number 1 out of 2 in South Africa. Well done.
to you, we thank you.
Yeah,
We're
thanks
glad you
for that,
enjoyed us.
listener.
Hamburgashle and
I don't know who the listener is.
forgotten who that. Yeah, I don't know.
Johan,
Hamburgashle,
could be anyone.
donkey.
Anyone.
That's about the extent of my languages.
I can't believe you're number 1 in South Africa and you can't even speak South African.
I can speak
You
South
are
African.
something else.
My Afrikaans is legendary, Steve. I try not to speak it too much because people get jealous.
Yeah.
Worm, yeah, worm.
And then what's the other one?
Tunny,
Tunt.
tunt.
Don't call me that.
Okay, we better
Anyway,
wrap this up
right.
because we've got to go and say hello to
Good
Mrs.
to see you.
ChilliChump.
No, I'm
You
going to
haven't
bed.
spoken to her yet. Oh, you go to bed now.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I'm going
nice,
to bed. I've
nice.
come to see you.
Thanks very
I'm
much,
off.
Steve. Anyway, thanks very much for joining,
All
and let's do
Good to
this
see you
sooner
again.
next time. But,
Yeah, no, it won't be long.
to everyone that's watching, make sure that you share this with someone else. That'd be great. Just one other
Yeah.
person share this, and
Number-
they can enjoy our ramblings.
You'd be number 1 in another country.
We'd be number
somewhere.
1 in Tanzania. It'd be fantastic.
Or what? Congo.
Congo. Wow. No, I mean that's. I don't want to be number 1 in leisure. I want to be number 1 in iTunes in the Congo.
Leisure. I can't believe it's leisure.
Should I
Why is
change?
it
Should I change the
leisure?
category? I
Why
don't know. That's what
leisure?
category I chose.
Is that default or did you choose it?
No, I chose that.
Leisure?
It's tough, man. You want to see some other stuff.
What's
Religious?
leisure?
It's not religious, so I had to go through this long list.
I reckon you'd be
It's
number
not
1 in
religious.
every country. Religious. Come on.
I should have. I wasn't
did well.
thinking. I should have chosen a category that has the fewest number
Yeah.
of.
Come on. Do some
Leisure is
research.
actually quite a busy category, if I'm honest. Yeah, religious. Now there's a plan.
I thought it'd
Alternative
be
religion,
informative or something you can learn from.
cultural.
Cultural. There you go. Now that
We'll have to have a look. It looks like my podcast host has turned into Spotify now because we're hosting on Anchor, which I think was owned by Spotify, but now it's actually become Spotify.
is it?
I don't know. I just noticed it today before we got started here. No, this is the stuff you don't care about, Steve. This is
Yeah,
stuff,
no,
the technical
look,
stuff
I'm
I have
just
to
here to
deal
say
with
hello and
after
have a
the
drink.
fact. Yeah.
So,
But yeah, we really need
but
to
good
go
luck
now.
with that.
Thanks very much.
Oh, but
Thank you for joining me. And yeah, I know
no,
you don't
thank
like me
you.
addressing the audience directly, but thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you got some joy out of it, and it made whatever task that you're doing. If you're running on the treadmill right now, I hope it made that time pass quickly as well.
treadmill.
My knees
I've
are
got
hurting
one at
just
home. Do
thinking
you want to
about
borrow it?
that. I've got
It's
one.
taking a lot of space.
It's a good clothes hanger. Anyway, thanks very much,
All right.
guys, and thanks, Steve, so much. And
Thank you.
Looking forward to
I'll
the
see
next
you
one
soon.
already.